second one. Well, I guess.
Okay, now I got something up here that says the host has enabled local recordings.
Yeah.
Please stay in the studio until your recordings are finished uploading. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let me hit got it right here. Okay.
seatbelt, screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the projects. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt, screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the projects. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt, screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the projects. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt, screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the projects. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt, screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the projects. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this a recession, selling that crack dead. Niggas selling super sour and bionic glue. And got Superman powers when I'm scratching new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt, screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga.
Good evening. Thank y'all for
joining.
So, the Frontline Black News. This is season 3, episode 7 of the Frontline Black News, and I'm your host, Shane Chroma. Lady Che is kind of under the weather right now, so she might not be joining us. Or she might be joining us later on. She's our other host.
Okay.
And our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka San Cori, or Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, which I am the
greetings
and co-host of. Greetings, Shabaka, from Las Vegas. You're in Las Vegas, right?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
I'm sipping on Laker tears tonight, as you can see from my hat.
Man.
LA and beat them, and we were supposed to lose in LA. And
man, it's bribe money somewhere, man. Somebody getting bribed, man.
Bribe when it's not the Lakers.
Yeah, man, it's bribe money going somewhere, man. Shit, who knows?
Okay. So
that's bribe money, man.
They want the Nuggets and they want the Heat in the finals. So,
well, I like to see palm trees play palm trees.
No, it's gonna be
LA palm trees playing Miami palm trees.
It's gonna be Denver and Miami in the finals, and we are joined.
Well, man, I'm gonna laugh my ass off if the Lakers come back, man, 4 straight. Although they never done that in history, I don't think they have. I don't think the Lakers ever came back from a deficit and won 4 straight.
No, and we are also joined with our political prisoner, who was in the Carl State Mental Hospital. Ramel Understanding. Say hi to people.
Peace, this is Ramel Understanding, the angel of peace from the east, understanding and understood in the neighborhood near you, bringing the hope without the dope, official frontline campaign. Salute to the fallen soldiers. I'm on military time. I'm going to utilize my military mind, and I'm on military grind. Holla.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, too, Brother Che, I just want to mention in the recent news, as everybody knows, that Jim Brown kicked the bucket yesterday, the NFL football great.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him, Shabaka. We got a long
list. Imperfection.
Yes. We got a long list of topics. So the topics tonight are, of course, tangibles 2023 to tangibles 2024. We're not letting up.
Always.
We're going to continue to demand something tangible for our vote. So any politician that you vote, demand something tangible. and that's something real, something substance, something with substance, i.e. a check, i.e. policy
right now.
that's directed directly at foundational Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, the people that built this country. We need anti Black hate crime, a hate crime law or bill to protect Black people from these race soldiers and these deputized white supremacists, vigilantes.
Right.
So yeah, demand songs happen, Black family. The next thing we're going to discuss is 80% of Black people think Biden is a white supremacist. Oh, well, I'm glad y'all are finally waking up. We've been telling y'all 2019 that he was a white supremacist like Trump. And
right.
There was no lesser of two evils. It was all evil.
Right.
It was all white supremacy today. So I'm glad y'all are finally waking up, you biting sexuals, and we're still waiting on y'all to call into Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced at 516.
And the phone number to 518-5996. And be sure to add that phone number to your cell phone plan so you will not be charged for the call. So we definitely want to be let that there be known. You can always find up our upcoming episodes on Stinky Bird, okay, at Shabaka EXP. Okay, also to check out our like page.
I gotta finish the intro.
Yeah.
So and then Biden did a commencement speech at Howard University, the same university that your vice president, because y'all voted for Biden and Harris. I did not. Nobody on this panel voted for Biden and Harris, but y'all tuning in.
No,
Biden and Harris, and your vice president who graduated from Howard University, they gave Biden an honorary degree. So he did. Cori Bush of Missouri, or that's what I call it, Missouri, the state of Missouri, Missouri. With Barbara Lee. Barbara Lee's out of California. Where's Barbara Lee out of?
She's out of Northern California, out of Berkeley and West Oakland, and she took over Ron Dellum's seats in the U.S. Congress. She succeeded Ron Dellum's, and she's been elected ever since. And I don't see Ms. Lee doing too much anything. Just like the current mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. You might want to make a footnote on this. Karen Bass is going to put 1,000 more lapdogs on the streets of Los Angeles.
Quote you on that, Shabaka.
Hold on, Ramel. I gotta finish the intro. So then we got so she's coming up with her and Cori Bush are coming up with a reparations bill. It's a nothing burger. Black family, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
All right.
Upwards of $14 trillion. That's a drop in the bucket. We've been saying on Frontline Black News, the revolutionary agenda and Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. $100 trillion. So 14 trillion, that's a drop in the bucket. But okay, we can start somewhere, right?
So we need 86 trillion more.
Because they're making this all broad and ambiguous, and they're gonna try to make it people of color will have access to it. So don't fall for it, Black family. So we're gonna touch on that. We have a new ancestor, unfortunately. Jim Brown just passed away. We lost Shabaka, he'll be back. Jim Brown died yesterday on Malcolm X's 98th birthday. So now he's an ancestor, so we're going to talk about that. There was a Black Wall Street court decision. For those that didn't know, there's an active lawsuit going on for the descendants of Black Wall Street for the atrocities that they went through when Black Wall Street was bombed a little over 100 years ago. So we're going to talk about that. We have a lone survivor who lives here in Denver, Colorado. He is 102. He'll be 103.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that. Terrance Howard, he quits acting and exposes Hollyweird plot to effeminate.
Yes, he did. And we spoke about that on Shabaka. Yeah. He quit. And then we spoke about that there, Brother Che, a few years ago in that episode called Hollywood's Effeminization of the Black Male. And keep pushing that episode again and again and again and again and again is because we had said it back then. And what we said back then, man, has now come to pass. And then basically what it is, the black family is that they don't want black men being men. They want black men to be a bunch of faggots. Okay.
Pretty much.
And that there to me is an insult to every black man, past, present, and future. And it's also an insult to our women.
Yeah, I agree. The next thing is going to be the Joel Morant of the NBA's Memphis Grizzlies basketball team. His situation. And then we got you'll be real interested in this, Shabaka. I hope you can stay up for it. Reclaim Osage, Mike Africa Jr. on push to buy back House 38 years after Philly police bombed it.
Oh yeah, I remember that day very, very well. And keep in mind is that Wilson Good was the mayor of Philadelphia at the time who gave the order to bomb it, and then the police commissioner at that time was Willie Williams, who carried out the mayor's orders of Philadelphia at that time. And I really wish Mad Dr. D was here because that's of his line of neck of the woods. And then keep in mind is that when the LAPD finally retired Daryl Gates, who was a psychopath in my opinion, they made Willie Williams the police chief of the Lapdogs after he had left Philadelphia.
Yes, and then last but certainly not least, we got our Unhoused Neighbor News and our Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So I'm going to get started. The year and a decade of tangibles. Any politician that's seeking your vote demands something tangible for your vote. I ran for mayor of Denver, Colorado this past election, a general election. We didn't get the results that we wanted, but we ran on a Black first agenda. We put Black people first. Made Black people the priority in Denver, Colorado, and unfortunately, a lot of our people were still asleep and didn't get on board what we have going on. But that's okay. We're gonna go back at it in 2027. Including myself, demand something tangible for your vote, Black family. Stop just voting because the white on you go out and vote. Vote because you have an agenda and a cause. And that agenda is reparations. Well, excuse me. The agenda is the Black agenda.
The Black agenda. That's right.
And the cause is reparations.
Yes, sir.
$100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people in 2023. What were you going to say?
Yes, sir. Okay, bad news too, man. Uncle Tim Scott, as you know, is running for president of the U.S.
Oh my God! Now Tim Scott threw his hat in the ring.
Yeah, man. That Uncle Fester stymie looking motherfucker ain't got a chance in hell, man.
Not a chance.
You know it. I know it. Romero knows it, and the public knows it. Yes, sir. He did announce it. Yes, because I came across that information earlier today. But I want to verify it, though, because I believe it came up off of a news break. And then that damn lieutenant governor of North Carolina who says that you don't need reparations. Yeah. And then we got another warlock. He's coming out reiterating that same garbage.
Oh, my God. Ooh, we must have a cone factory for all these cones. That's why we start to show off.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the sad part,
starring majority of you niggas.
You niggas. Yes, sir. Exactly. Now,
revolutionary agenda.
That's right. Black first. Okay.
Absolutely.
Back in 2020, brother by the name of Tariq Nasheed came out with the hashtag Tangibles2020. And in it, he was detailing everything that foundational Black Americans were going to demand from the political system.
Right.
Practicing this malign neglect policy for the past 50, 60 years. So nothing's changed except the year, but the message still remains the same.
And keep it the same.
So we're gonna dive into
Keep
that
it
real
the
quick.
same.
So we're gonna change 2020 to 2024 because that's when the next presidential election is coming up. Everything else remains. So the 2024 presidential elections are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old, now it's like 52, 53, 54-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system. This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms. Lumping foundational Black Americans with minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this election cycle, meaning the 2023-2024 election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits specifically for us. We do not want trickle-down secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups who often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. And since it's 2023, it's Tangibles 2023. And next year it'll be Tangibles 2024. So thoughts, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
On Tangibles 2023.
I think it needs to be viable and reliable. If it ain't tangible,
exactly.
That's right. What are your thoughts, Shabaka?
Yeah, it's most definitely needed. And keep in mind that this is not a handout, that this is a debt that is owed, that has went unpaid. Now, keep in mind is that when you owe somebody some money and you don't pay them, that's considered like a theft. All right. And then, of course, you want to put some interest on it as well, too. You see what I mean? You know, just like how they do us when we go to these damn court proceedings and shit like that, and they fine us and they sue us and all that. Well, you got to pay this amount in fine, plus you got to pay the court costs. So, yeah, $100 trillion in tangibles is about right for all the stolen wealth, number one. Also, two, for the degradation, number two. Also, to the interest that is owed as well, number three. Now, I hear the Yasa bosses are out here talking about, well, you don't need it. You Negroes is just looking for a handout. But what was our people looking for? Is that they were beaten, brutalized, degraded on that plantation system. They were looking for freedom. You see what I'm saying? And then here along comes old Mr. Hollywood, you know, with its bullshit, making the jigaboo movies about us, you know what I'm saying? 1920s, 1930s, D.W. Griffith, you know, that type of shit. The same bastard that they named the park after. You see what I'm saying? Which is the world's largest municipal park, by the way. You see what I mean? You know, throughout the world. Area-wise, that is because Griffith Park also takes up the observatory, which is that little bubble you see up there, which is just right to the Hollywood sign of it, the Hollywood sign area itself, and then you got it over there on the Los Feliz side, which takes you off there into the San Fernando Valley. But you enter it, you know, from Hollywood, take Western Avenue up all the way until it makes a right turn. You see what I'm saying? And I forgot the name of the street. Oh, Los Feliz Boulevard. That's the name of the street. Then you'll see the grand entrance right there, and you hang a left, man. You can go all up there and drive up the little hills and what have you. And some of these stupid movies and TV shows that you've seen over the course of your lifetime, they have filmed on that road up there in Griffith Park. Keep in mind, as Brother Isaiah had our East Coast correspondent. Hope the brother's well. We haven't heard from him in a while, but he did bring it to my attention, of the woman who did own all of Beverly Hills and Hollywood, a black
Yeah,
woman.
Baby Mason.
Yes, sir. And then D.W. Griffith came out there, made Birth of the Nation 1915, and then here comes the Warner Brothers, here comes Paramount, and you saw my live feed, Brother Paris, and I did what I said I was going to do. I went down there on HB, which we call HB Hollywood Boulevard, and Highland Avenue, right there to the Kodak Theater, same place, and I told them about their stinking ass selves, and you did right to tell me not to talk to TMZ.
Yep. Well, Hollyweird is just one of many institutions that owe us, Shabaka.
Oh, yes, sir. Music industry out of New York owes us big time. A lot of black entertainers went to New York and Chicago. Lou Rawls, Curtis Mayfield, Etta James, and the list goes on and on and on, including the great ancestor who just transitioned recently, Harry Belafonte. Okay, also too is as Cicely Tyson talks about in her book, Just As I Am. She transitioned at the age of 95. She was a legend. And one thing about Miss Cicely Tyson, she did not play, them raunchy roles, you know what I'm saying, that you saw a whole lot of our sisters play in a black exploitation era. And Big Jim, may he rest in power, although Big Jim was a fool in my opinion, but he's a grown man. Big Jim, man, has got a rap sheet, man, for domestic violence, man, longer than your arm in L.A. County. You know what I'm saying? But Big Jim...
tangible, Shabaka.
Oh, yes, sir. And that's why we need the tangibles for the... Yeah, and that's why we need the tangibles for the degradation. In the Hollywood industry, the music industry, what have as well, too, plus the brutalization of the plantation system, plus the brutalization of the Jim Crow era, plus the brutalization of the segregation era, Emmett Till, what have you, Scottsboro Boys, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And George this is Skinny. Not no handout. Huh?
George Skinny.
Oh, yes, sir. George. Yeah, there you go. 14 years old, who was executed at the age of 14, saying once again that he was out there trying to rape a little white girl, and this is pre-Emmett Till. You see what I'm saying? Look at the case of the Scottsboro Boys. Also, too, look at the case of the brothers who were burned alive in a dormitory at a university. And I think this was in about 1958-59, where they tried to
in Mississippi.
Yeah, there you go.
Naming stuff. The moral of the story is cut the goddamn check. Pay what the hell you
absolutely. Absolutely. Just like
I was going to say that the fight for tangibles and compensation for past atrocities is a major thing because it sets a domino effect where all black people,
the whole diaspora,
the whole diaspora, can finally win in the struggle against this devil that has basically persecuted us for years, months, and days.
Yeah, I'm
a firm believer that Black America is the epicenter of all revolution globally.
Yes.
And,
it is.
For people to rebel against this white agenda and overthrow this white agenda, which is a parasite and a predator to all human families of the planet Earth, that certain steps need to be taken. I think that this is one step in the right direction for revolution politically. Getting the what's the name of the thing? Damn, I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. But getting compensation for slavery.
Yeah, reparations.
Reparations. That's a major step in the right direction, and it's a revolutionary step, and it's going to definitely cause a domino effect for our freedom and equality.
That's right, Romeo. Yep. All right. So I'll move us along because we got a lot of topics to get to. All right. So the next topic is going to be 80% of Black Americans think Biden is a white supremacist. I gotta find a link. But yeah, we told you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, look at it. You know, he pushed that federal crime bill, man, through the U.S. Congress in the late 90s.
Well, there's a lot of Negroes that was on board with that shit too.
Yeah.
That's the strike, right?
That was one of many laws, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? And then the cold part.
We had a Ku Klux Klan wizard's funeral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We brought all that up in 2019. It fell on deaf ears.
Yeah.
Well, people can change.
It did.
People can change.
Man.
It's not like that anymore.
Man, come on, man. A rat is a rat.
But people can't
A rat
change.
is a rat is a rat.
But Shabaka,
you know what I'm saying?
Give him a chance.
Man, as old as I am, Brother Che, as old as I am, man, for 50 years they had the chance, man. And then, like old Frogface said, 60 years ago, okay, segregation yesterday, segregation day, segregation tomorrow. The great George Wallace. And somebody shot his ass too in 1972. Man, fuck George Wallace. You know what I'm saying? And then the same thing with that current governor of Arkansas that you got, who wants to tear down all the memorabilia.
Oh my God!
And pull out all the information on the Little Rock 7.
Sarah Huckabee.
Sarah Huckabee, yeah, with her fat bumblebee looking ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, we don't need that no more. We need to tear that down. You know what I'm saying? No, you crazy ass raggedy rascal. You know what I'm saying? People shed blood behind that. Same thing with the civil rights movement. Same thing with the Black empowerment movement.
Your boy, Jim Crow Biden, says white supremacy is a threat. Oh, you think Biden? You think Jim Crow Biden?
Okay.
You're a white supremacist.
Wow.
White supremacy is a threat. Okay. So shout out to Kid Gravity. If you haven't liked and subscribed to his channel, please do. And play the video, and then we're gonna give a little commentary. There's 2 videos I gotta play. So this one is Joe Biden at Howard University stating white supremacy is a threat.
Wow.
It's a poison. White supremacists, I did my inaugural best to single out this terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy. And I'm not saying this because I'm at a Blacc HBCU.
Yes, you are.
I say it wherever I go.
Go there.
Wow.
Hey, y'all. Any day above ground live it. So you already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right. Share, like, and subscribe. The Future Political Incubator did it again. Hey, shout out to Biden University. My God, I'm sorry. Shout out to Howard University. I'm sorry, folks. The most recognized EU in the country. Here they come. Here they come. Grambling, sat down. Prairie View sat down. MU sat down. I'm using this for commentary purposes. We can argue about who's the most recognizable later. Go somewhere.
I guess somebody was trolling him in this chat.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Howard University, the most
man, come on.
recognizable HBCU in the country, just had the preeminent white supremacists of this era, of this generation, tell you that white supremacy is a problem. If it wasn't so laughable, I would laugh. But it's quite sad, folks, because HBCUs are supposed to be a haven for Black students to get an education and be Black. It's supposed to be like a different world, but it's not. Howard University, you are way off code.
Way.
Not only did you invite this white supremacist, but then y'all gave him an honorary degree.
Oh my God.
Are y'all serious?
Oh man.
Let me show you how egregious what y'all did. What was the end results? I'm finna show y'all some things. Now, what you see on the screen, family, are some screenshots from various YouTube channels who streamed this commencement speech. And look here. First one, NBC News. They had Mr. Eastland give this commencement speech. Look how many dislikes. Damn, I'm sorry. Not Eastland. I apologize. Let's just move to the next one.
Oh, they're still showing.
Y'all
dislikes.
had, this is
They
from
stopped
Forbes
showing
now.
dislikes,
Forbes said, we gonna put this up. And Strom Thurmond decries white supremacy and hate in commencement address to Howard University. 62 likes to 338 dislikes. I'm sorry. I did it again. I did it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Can we just go to the next one? This one was the most egregious. It says Robert Byrd delivers Howard University commencement. 115 likes to 1.1 thousand dislikes. Son of a bitch. And I did it again, folks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I mentioned Eastland, Thurmond, and Byrd.
Oh, it does.
Why did I mention those three names? Well, those were Biden's friends and mentors.
Oh yeah, big time.
Right. This is the same guy who said he wishes we had them segregationists back. This is who y'all gave
segregation yesterday, segregation today, and segregation
deliver
tomorrow.
Your commencement speech.
That was George
honorary
Wallace,
degree. This guy.
Right.
Right.
At least Fox 5 DC was smart enough not to put on the comments. The other two, go look at them comments one time. But all right, this is your man's, right? Y'all are never gonna learn. This is the same dude who, when he was with Obama, told Obama to hang up on the Howard University president because they were going back and forth over funding.
And he cut
Speaking
the
of which, let's talk real here, because I know some of y'all Howard students gonna find this out. This video. Let me hit you with an uncomfortable truth. The previous president gave y'all permanent funding. This guy who you gave the right to give your commencement speech, and y'all gave an honorary degree. Symbolism don't work, by the way. He cut y'all funding. Oh yes. Let me see. Y'all were under the previous administration for 4 years. We didn't hear a peep out of y'all. But the second this man, who you gave the right to deliver your commencement speech, and you in turn gave him a honorary degree. Y'all all of a sudden have dorms flooding. Y'all all of a sudden have mold problems. Y'all all of a sudden have rodent infestations. And the news just happened to put y'all on Front Street with it.
Damn. That breaks my heart.
Didn't say anything to y'all as students. Hey, for the next generations coming behind you, me being committed to y'all and fighting this white supremacy, we're going to make Howard University a haven. Nah, he didn't tell you that. Nah, did he? Nah, they tell you on the sneak. While they're cutting programs at your school, y'all allowed this man to come to your school. The preeminent white supremacist of this generation. Same man who told his president to cut Pell Grants. This guy. This guy who 8 times overstepped his authority with student loan forgiveness. This guy. This guy who appointed a Supreme Court justice, Howard University ladies, especially you AKAs. She sat in front of white folks on the hill, literally down the street from y'all, and told y'all she can't define what a woman is. And we all know how black women's identities get attacked every day.
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna talk. This guy that put us in a war that we have no business being in.
Rolled another 300.
And he's sending money to a country who the entire world watched disrespect black people by not letting them evacuate out of the country before white folk.
Yeah, we touched on that.
And we didn't hear a peep out of him telling Zelensky that's wrong.
Yeah, and particularly how they
This
treated
the
the
guy
Nigerians over there.
The commencement speech
any other
at your college, and he got an honorary degree.
Any kind of melanin was getting pretty bad.
This is the same guy whose vice president went to your university, and instead of saying y'all are the future, you're going to be the next generation of black people that are going to ascend higher than the previous generations, she went in there talking about abortion rights.
No, Lord.
Yet she'll go to a PWI along with this man, and they ain't gonna talk about no white supremacy or abortion rights to no white people.
Right. Yep, that's a fact.
Jamaican Harris ain't gonna go in front of her Desi people and talk about abortion rights. Biden ain't gonna sit in front of University of Pennsylvania and talk about abortion rights.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna talk about white supremacy.
He thought that was okay to bring up with us. He's a white supremacist.
How about that?
So,
but y'all gave him an honorary degree. Yeah. Howard University graduates, congratulations for graduating. I know 4 years are tough. Welcome to the real world. You're going to see how white supremacy really acts.
Exactly.
Yeah, when
I hope you're ready. If you're smart, you'll come down over here to New Black Media. Get yourself right. Because if you don't,
well, not Howard, but Metro,
your Boule class is going to lead you to where Biden said, what? They going to put y'all back in chains. He's going to question how black you are.
Yeah, remember, if
I just hope you got the right answer.
Between me and Trump, then you ain't black.
Yeah, you ain't black. Say, man, how's that old senile bastard man gonna sit up there and say some outlandish, outrageous, preposterous shit like that? That's preposterous. That's outlandish.
So
I mean, that motherfucker ain't never.
Oh, go ahead, Shabak. I was just saying I got another video to play.
Oh, yes, sir. And the only thing I was gonna say was, man, Biden.
It's the down.
Biden don't know.
I'm trying to charge it, but the shit is fucked up. It won't stay charged.
Oh man.
I was like, we getting that many hits tonight? Whoa.
Nah, it's just it's because you're hooked up to the speaker, so every time it tries to charge, it does that, makes that sound. It's charging now.
Right, indeed. And my phone's starting to get hot, so I'm gonna stick it back off in this refrigerator right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you see how they doing us, folks?
Yeah,
you see this shit, Black family?
The audacity of these mugs. This is your Boule class. These are these AKAs, these Greek fraternities. They allowed this shit.
Yeah, they did. And then look what they stand on. You know, look at their principles. You know what I'm saying?
They're just black faces of white supremacy.
Like the whitewash shit.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it. Ramel, that's exactly what it is. And then also too, and then I say it again, and I will tell them pools in Hollywood and what have you. But them a lot of them fraternities with that Greek shit is fuck boys, man.
Yep, that's the Boule. That's why I'm glad I never pledged.
Yeah.
The only thing I pledged was to the All Black Liberation Army. That's what I pledged to.
Hey man, you know it. Hey, RBG all
That's
the way,
what I
man.
pledged to. Because they was like, oh, you should join a sorority. You should blah, blah. No, I'm good. No,
I agree.
no, I'm cool on that. But it help you a
Exactly.
lot. I'm good. So I got
But
another
at the
video to
same
play.
token,
So not
all right.
everybody at Howard University was digging Biden being president. So I'm
Right.
gonna show a video from Phil Scott of some of the graduates protesting Biden and Kamala Harris, or as we call her, Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like I
So
said, and when I get back up there, yeah, there's Phil Scott right there.
Yeah, shout out to Phil Scott, the African Diaspora Network. This is another one of his channels called Phil Scott Podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please do. So
All
he's
right,
gonna
and we would
play.
like to invite Mr. Scott on our podcast as well too.
Oh,
And
yes.
we would like to send an open invitation to Mr. Scott to come on the Frontline Black News.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it says Howard University graduates protest with sign saying Biden and Harris don't like black people. So let's roll that footage.
They don't.
Recently had Joe Biden come to do the commencement speech for their graduates. In the process, HBCU Howard University gave Joe Biden an honorary doctorate degree. Yes, a so-called HBCU gave an honorary doctorate degree to Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Biden's law that incarcerated a good portion of black people during the crack epidemic, that guy.
Yep.
They honor him with an honorary doctorate degree. You can't make it. The more I keep covering these stories with the podcast, the sicker I am getting with a lot of people in Black America, because I'm realizing that Black America is full of raccoons in these institutions.
Yep.
It makes sense because if you look at who's running the institutions, it's not Gen X, it's not millennials, it's not Gen Z. So it makes plenty and perfect sense. Lifelong Democrat people in our advancement, right? Out of all the people they could have invited from the black community to speak to the graduates, go get Jim Crow, Joe Biden. Now, I want you to hear something that he says before we get to really what we want to talk about here. So let's go ahead and roll that.
To stand up against the poison of white supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy. And I'm not saying this because I'm at a black HBCU. I say it wherever I go.
No, you don't.
But you heard Joe Biden say white supremacy is dangerous, to the country, paraphrasing. But when they talk about white supremacy, they only want to talk about the Klan, neo-Nazis, True Front. They want to talk about the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and the 3%ers and all those people. That's what they want to talk about. But the biggest white supremacist is on that stage.
Yep.
Joe Biden. He's maintaining white. He's not trying to bring anything that's equal. And because white supremacy, in its simplest terms, is white control and dominate everything, and unequal, that white on top and everybody else at the bottom. That is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you are cool with that kind of system, and if you are a white person, that makes you a white supremacist as well. It can label the white supremacist as the Proud Boy. No. The white supremacist is anybody that believes everyone else should be subjugated to them. That's a true white supremacist. And Joe Biden maintains white supremacy. He's been maintaining white supremacy. That's the same guy that said that he didn't want to enter his key to a racial jungle. That's the same guy that mass incarcerated black people And when he was having a debate, he said, "Put him in jail. We'll think about it if we don't later." But they're in jail. That's what he wanted. They're away from my mother. That was Joe Biden. And the tune of the majority of Black America, you would vote for him. You did it. You put him in there because what? We gotta get that Trump out. Well, you had some of these young brothers and sisters. They actually came out and told some truth at that graduation, and let's go ahead.
First White House.
And they didn't put it on TV, but
as you saw, the young brother like Black people. Yes, your so-called sister girl from Howard University some pearls herself. He included her to say they don't like Black people. Why would they say this? Who's graduating college? Because he see that the policies that Biden has is anti-Black. Black folks want something, so no. You got old Clyburn running around talking about hell no, you're not gonna get no cash payment reparations.
Y'all need to vote.
He said you're not getting it. Okay, that's all the same party that Joe Biden is a part of. Look at what happened. Now the sister talking about Jordan Neely, and he was lynched. Complete lynch. That's what happened. Joe Biden and Kamala didn't run out to say anything.
Nothing.
They were silent as a mouse. If Biden didn't want to say nothing, it should have been a responsibility of Kamala to come out and say something. But no, she's not going to say anything because she was a police herself. Was a prosecutor, police. Keep folks locked up longer than what they should have been locked up in California.
For the record.
And one reason why she wanted to keep them in there because they're cleaning the jail.
Is that Kamala Harris was the district attorney of San Francisco County, and then she was also to the California State Attorney General, and then she became the U.S. Senator that Newsom replaced the retiring Senator Barbara Boxer with, and then she got picked up to be your vice president. That there's the rundown on Kamala Harris, and then when I do return to Alameda County, I will be going across the street from the courthouse in Alameda County to the law library, and the security guard told me, yeah, man, you can go up there and pick up all her cases that she did when she was an assistant district attorney in Alameda County before she crossed the bay and became the district attorney of San Francisco County. And then we're going to go to San Francisco County as well too, and go up there to Brooks Hall, and we're going to pull her records as well too. And the thing that I'm looking for is how many Black people that she had sent to the California state prison systems and the county jails, okay, on plea bargains.
Yeah.
Particularly in Alameda County. Now, the reason why I'm saying particularly in Alameda County is because, as we all know, who started there in Alameda County, we ain't got to say their name. You know what I'm saying? So therefore my point is that what we're getting at is how she is targeting, her own people, for massive incarceration, just like what the congresswoman from Hawaii told her sorry ass in the vice president in the presidential debate. Yeah, that told her in the presidential debate, and that's when she decided to pull out of the presidential debate after she got told that. Now in the vice presidential,
Tulsi Gabbard,
she did what?
Democrats. She left the Democratic
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you see, so that'll show you something right there.
Demon rats.
Yeah, demon rats.
The demon rats, you know what I'm saying? And then, you might as well, put a picture of Mickey Mouse up there or that damn rat called Ben in that movie called Willard, that Michael Jackson made a song called Ben singing about a damn rat. But that's what Kamala is. You see what I'm saying? And then not to mention she gave up pussy to everybody there to her political career. Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, he was fucking her. You know what I'm saying? He was 60, she was 30. You see what I mean? So, so basically, not disrespecting the sister. I'm just telling it like it is. Being a man of the streets from South Central Los Angeles, man, she hoed her way to the top. Rather she was on her back or down on her knees.
She Black when it's convenient.
Exactly. You see?
So I gotta
And so
finish
that,
playing the video, y'all.
oh, and let me say this one line too, Brother Paris. I'm going to let you continue. Okay, and also too, Madam Vice President, you are welcome to call in Shabak's Black Experience at 516-418-5996. Yes, ma'am. I want to talk to you about you as an assistant district attorney in Oakland, California. Of how you left black men, sitting in prison. And then when California had fully decriminalized the MJ, they were supposed to be released from jail, and all those convictions was expunged. But she was the attorney general at the time. She let them sit right there in jail.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna play the video.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
But that's the woman that go and run. Now Biden's going to run in 2024, and she's going to run with him. Now I know. Listen. I told y'all can't be this silly twice.
Right.
I'm talking about black folks. You can't be that silly twice. This man has done nothing for black people. Even that young man talks about they don't even like black people. You don't like black people are suffering in this country. Homelessness in record numbers. Evictions, record numbers. Joblessness. You have white supremacy running amok all over the country. And this man hasn't done anything about it. But as soon as he got in office, they criminalized Black America, lied on Black America. He was attacking research, and what came out is the white supremacist was attacking Asians. They were doing it. But they propagandize us, and black people don't get nothing. They don't come out in large numbers to vote, but black people do. And you still propagandize for news channel. Everybody else coming to this country don't vote and get the world. You vote, you get nothing. Mm-hmm. That's really the story, vote.
Right.
Oh, we got to vote, Phil. Man, Phil, we got to get the Democrats in there. Because, man, we got in there because, Phil, we don't know what you think gonna happen.
Man, the only thing I got to say about that is this. Put the dump back up there. Put the panties up there, as the vice president sucking his dick. You know what I'm saying? At least that way you know what you deal with,
People that's not voting benefiting from your vote. Isn't that backwards? It is backwards. In a real
man, sorry, y'all.
World, you would cater to your number one voter. You would cater to them because you say, hey, I want to keep them on the team, so let me make sure they're good. Everybody voting for them. I don't care about them. I care about these people, right? In a legitimate society, that's what would happen. We would be catered to. All our needs would be met, and we vote in the 80% range for this particular political party. But they don't have no respect for black folk. They actually hate black folk. They can't stand black people. They all anti-black racists. You bring all these people in here, anti-black as well, because they're not importing mad dumb people who are black in here that they could vet to make sure some of them are raccoons. But the majority of people they want in here is not going to be black folk. You're not going to see a majority of Africans and Caribbeans coming in and Afro-Latinos coming in. That's not about to happen. They don't want no black folk here. In their mind, some of them could be raccoons, but what if their kids are not? Right. That's a risk they take.
Right.
But
and then
the brother is right. Biden and Harris do not like black people. They'll give black people symbolism.
Facts.
They'll give black people a holiday that we already were celebrating in Texas, talking about a federal holiday, but they won't do substance for black people.
Nothing. Trickery.
Mm-hmm. Then you go to what the sister says about the lynching of Jordan Neely. Look at all the money that's being raised, and I'm just watching it. This guy now got $1 million.
It's probably
a manslaughter case. Manslaughter. You should see the people that's on there. Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh my God!
That came out swinging at black Bill. America. And he come out there
yeah,
anti-black racist. The one
yeah.
I looked at, the Timothy Poole guy, places, he took $20,000 and gave it to that dude. This is what this country is on. And Joe Biden with all that little talking about white supremacy, like I said, dude, you ain't doing nothing about it, and you maintaining white supremacy every day.
Right.
Uncle Phil.
Exactly. And then on top of it as well too, is that when you look at these police agencies,
how come all the great black people all over America and throughout the world, you couldn't invite nobody else to speak? Him. And throughout the world, you couldn't invite nobody else to speak? Him. Of all people. And gave him an honorary, like, what kind of world is that? It's supposed to be a black institution giving a honorary doctorate degree to the guy that mass incarcerated black people to put them back in slavery, because when you're in prison, you're doing slave labor. Read the 13th Amendment. Read it. Slavery is legal in prison. Now, watch this.
Yeah.
Because of the 13th Amendment and slavery is legal, nobody's going to get them jobs in Florida. They're going to start using prison labor to do all the fruit. And they do all the construction. Watch. You'll see prisoners doing that labor because the U.S. Constitution says that slavery is legal in America if you are tried, convicted, and you're a slave. This is why the system is targeting black men, because they want black men and black women, but majority of black men, to be enslaved. Black people are a small percentage of the population, but yet they are representing the majority in prison. How is that when you got 50 to 60% of the population is white? How does that happen? That's not even exactly what's done by design. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not like you could be in a Democrat state, Democrat city, and black people be good. They don't issues. Democrat cities and states is not a safe space for black people, because the same so-called racism you deal with in Republican, you deal with Democrat, because they're the same.
You're
we got to beat this in your head. Democrats and Republicans are the same when it comes to subjugating black people. They're the same.
Yep. And that's why Karen Bass in the city of Los Angeles has signed a municipal approval there to get more funding and add 1,000 more lap dogs to the streets of Los Angeles. Just on what this man said right here. 1,000 more lap dogs. Yep. And there's your black mayor for you, you know. And every black ass politician that ran for office, Obama included, when they get approached by black people for black issues, the classic line of bullshit. Oh, well, I gotta be here to represent all the people and all that. Just like old punk ass Mark Ridley Thomas there when he ran for LA County supervisor. You know, black folks going out there working for him. And then the night or the election where he ran unopposed, meaning that all he needed was one vote, you know what I'm saying, to get the damn job of LA County supervisor, which he did. What he gonna tell the black workers? Oh, this party's for. Yeah.
Hold on. He just dropped some serious gems when he said, when he said, "Your civil rights." So the 14th Amendment.
That's
Right. Okay. You had a 13th, 14th,
so
and 15th
hold up.
Amendment.
He only went to Howard. He did that sweet.
He just went to Howard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was informing the sister over here at where I'm at. So she's about to look it up real quick.
Oh yeah, it's all over. Right? It's all over the internet. Yeah, he just went to Howard, Ramel.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, because I mean, one of the main themes of Frontline Black News, what I'm doing is, education, man. You're really educating players. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's what we created the show for, us to educate our people and
exactly
the mental dead, get them out that
yes, sir.
sunken place
Mindset.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And this is why at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, we deal with the Black experience from the beginning of time to 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like revolution on all levels, economically, socially, politically,
pretty much,
and domestically.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. And internationally.
Our so-called civil rights are not permanent, Black family. They literally have to be voted on every 25 years.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up there too, Brother Che, because that tripped me out, man. In 1990, which was 25 years after the initial Civil Rights Act in 1965. Okay, is
64?
Is that
64?
Yeah, 64. Yeah, so 1999, and that tripped me out. I'm saying, well, wait a minute, what the hell? I mean, they got to revisit it. You know what I mean? So already that they just go see, because one thing you got to remember about the white boy is that he does all his shit for long term. Just like when they went and colonized Africa and colonized the Caribbean, they did that shit for long term effects. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's
particularly the French effects. And then keep in mind,
decades
and
then centuries in advance.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. And then in King Charles or whatever, Queen Charles or whatever what that motherfucker is over there in England, what he need to be doing, man, is kicking out all that goddamn vibranium. You talking about the gold, the diamonds, the artifacts, all that shit right there. That son of a give it back. Hey, just like what Killmonger said in the fictional movie Black Panther.
And them Black people that were subjugated under the British Empire, sue your goddamn colonizer.
Exactly. Sue the
Yep.
Yes, sir. Hey, hit Madrid up, hit Paris up, hit London up, hit Brussels up. You know what I'm saying? Because the goddamn Belgians is down there too, man, and also to jack up the Firestone Tire Company. Yes, it's because they benefited greatly, man. Off of Leopold, hacking our children's arms off, and men and women who refused to work them rubber trees for Firestone. You see, so they owe big time.
Not meeting the quota, they got their hands chopped off. Yep.
Exactly.
Let's this video, Shabaka, and then we're gonna give commentary on it, and then we're gonna move to the next.
All right. Yes, sir. And I'm putting this phone back in the refrigerator. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. For a minute. Yeah, trying to make sure it don't get wet. I hope I ain't radioactive my ice. Will that radiate my ice in here? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Right.
Yeah, sorry, that's the inside of the refrigerator everybody's seeing, but I'm trying to keep this phone cool.
Right.
See, and then also too, and another thing too we want to mention, man, is that this goddamn artificial intelligence, these motherfuckers is getting too much goddamn power over there in Silicon Game Valley. I honestly believe it is at the point where the artificial
Let Uncle Phil finish, please.
All right. Okay. I see him, but we can't hear him.
I can't hear it.
No. I see him talking, but I can't hear him.
Not to restart the computer. Yeah, y'all hear it. Come in. Oh my god. I don't know why y'all can't hear it. Sorry, Black family, we're having technical difficulties. I just tried to play the video or the
General
show.
Paris, why didn't Obama enforce?
Because Obama is not FBA, Ramel. Obama didn't in the United States.
Yeah, Obama was from Kenya.
He was an international all over on the voting, so that's why he didn't do it.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah, it is.
Nah, it's Bacc. Can you still hear me? I don't know. Give one of your speeches. I gotta restart the computer because it's acting really stupid.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
okay, so what it is you got to look at the contribution to the gross domestic product, as well too from it. Also, too, you got to look at historically Black colleges and universities. They always had a lot of rules and regulations.
He's not going to be able to hear you, Ramel.
And then, of course, you got to look at a lot of the revenue, that's being generated, by them. But, it's not going to the, FBA community.
Resurrection of the mentally dead. Frontline Black News. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Resurrection of the mentally dead. Frontline Black News. Take it away. Resurrection.
I don't know. It sounds like that. It sounds horrible. Okay, let me bring Shabaka.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, Shabaka. When I restarted the computer, it dropped you, but I was able to keep it running because I got it on my laptop too.
okay. Okay.
Because the sound was horrible. I listened to the play. I was like, "What the hell?" So, damn, I was hoping you was gonna be able to give your speech. I agree with everything Uncle Phil said in regards to Jim Crow fighting and
Right.
the audacity of Howard University to give him an honorary doctorate degree, and how he gonna speak about white supremacy and he ain't doing nothing against it. In fact,
Exactly.
he's working right alongside it and reinforcing it every day, him and Kamala Harris. So shout out to the graduates that protest and expose them for the fake frauds and phonies that they are. It's a shame that regular media didn't showcase that part. They just kept saying, well, man did a commencement speech at Howard University about white supremacy. Shout out to the graduates that exposed him and Kamala Harris, said they don't care about black people. And they're not going to do nothing for black people. And they're just going to continue to allow the lynchings of black people to continue.
Right.
What are your thoughts, Rocker?
Well, on that there, Brother Che, you know what I'm saying? To quote the words of Dr. Huey P. Newton, man, which he was right about. See, this is some shit. We got to make it stop. See, we got to make it stop. We could do it economically, man. We could do it politically. We could do it commercially. You know, we could do it with these platforms that we have and merge, you know, and have a united black media. You see what I'm saying? It's because there's a whole lot of folks, you know, in our communities who are upset with this. And then with the treatment that we've been getting recently, and particularly the case, you know, that happened with Mr. Neely there in Washington State. And then, too, I did speak to someone, you know, who had listened to the last...
that was New York State. But
yeah.
State at this point. It's the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
With a triple K.
I mean, man, hey, man, all the way from the Bay Area when they murdered Oscar Grant, all the way up to New York where they murdered Mr. Neely. You see what I'm saying?
Right, it's open season on us. We've been saying that for
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Years now. But
yes, sir. And then keep in mind, too.
Let's hear from the anchorman, and then we got to move on to the next topic. What are your thoughts on Biden?
Joe Biden is staying himself in the flesh. I think he's the epitome of all abominations. He's trying to bring abominations to all societies, all families, all including white agenda is a plague. And I just think that we need to do something about it, and we need to hit them with revolution, socially, commercially, and domestically. You know, we need to start radically protecting their ideas, their ideology, and their mentality. You know, and we need to attack them on all fronts through the media, general conversations on the corner. However, you know what I'm saying? You know, educating our people.
Right.
And that's what we be on, man. It's resurrection of the mentally dead, calling people out the tombs, calling people out the graves. It's time for revolution.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna move us along. If you Biden supporters got a problem with anything that we just played, you can always call into Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced at 516-418-5996 and press 1 and you'll be live on the air. And you can tell us
yes, sir.
what tangible benefits are we going to get from a Biden administration? Because it's been 4 years damn near of Biden, and we've got nothing tangible. We've got none but symbolism, and all these other groups get all these tangible benefits. And we're supposed to be the backbone of the Democratic Party, and we're not getting nothing but symbolism and pats on the back. So I'm over
and then, dude, let me say this here before we move on.
Go ahead.
The Tim Scotts, the Herschel Walker Bars, you know, the Warlocks, the Kamala Harrises, we got to turn our back on them, Black family. We got to turn our back on them because we tried everything that I've witnessed in my lifetime for the last 50 years. And the only thing that we did not try that I think would be very effective is that we got to let it be publicly known that these brain dead, ass scratching raccoons do not speak for us. And to quote Malcolm, we got to make it plain. You see what I'm saying? Just like them making it plain, just like them bastards who killed a young man down in Memphis, Tennessee. Why? Because, you know, he was fucking a cop's ex-wife. That's all what that shit was all about. That wasn't nothing but gang shit. Gang members with badges. That's all what it was. And they beat that man to a pulp. That's all it was. That there wasn't nothing but a gang mentality.
Tyree Nichols. Yep.
Exactly. And then they conspired against Mr. Nichols because Mr. Nichols was involved or was talking to one of the ex-wives of the one of those police officers. So therefore that police officer got wind of it, and they probably had a meeting somewhere, sitting down, getting high, smoking dope, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, when we see this NGR, man, we'll let everybody know. We're going to put the work in on them. And that's exactly what they did. And then that damn police chief down in Memphis, she's got a tainted past to us because she was married to a pedophile when she was a police captain, a high-ranking officer on the Atlanta Police Department. And then look at what the Atlanta Police Department did with young man who they shot and killed down there. And then old stinking ass Karen Bass in the city of Los Angeles is talking about she wants 1,000 more lapdogs on the streets of Los Angeles.
And we've shown time and time again, it's not equal more safety. There's plenty of studies out there, but do your own research. Don't take our word for it. Do your own research. Y'all want to continue? That's on you. I don't want to hear no complaints from none of y'all mugs. Y'all vote for Biden and Kamala Harris again in 2024. That's on you.
Hey, and we'll add you to the cast of the new movie called Coons, starting the majority of you niggas.
Right.
We need tangibles, we need results. We need to stop to the bullshit.
Yeah, so we've been beating the drum so hard about reparations. Now the Congressional Black Caucus calls themselves trying to do something. The next is Representative Cori Bush introduces a $14 trillion bill for reparations. So shout out to Lisa Cabrera. She did an awesome commentary on it, and we're gonna play that commentary right now.
Okay. And this is out the city of Denver.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, whenever reparations come up among anybody from the Congressional Black Caucus, it always sends a radar up because there's a hidden agenda here. You know, there's another attempt to exploit the Black community. It's another excuse to try to get everybody motivated to vote again because, you know, Joe Biden, he killed all of that. There are a lot of people that are saying they're never voting for him again. And Cori Bush and Barbara Lee and some others from Congress are now coming up with some bill for reparations, and I don't believe this is going to go anywhere. I really don't. You know, remember, next year is the presidential election. And this, to me, is just part of trying to get the base again that they know they lost in the Black community. I don't believe it's nothing more than that. Nah, not falling for it.
Right.
So, Rep. Cori Bush introduces bill on reparations for Black Americans. Missouri Democratic Rep. Cori Bush has introduced new legislation calling for $14 trillion in reparations for Black Americans in an effort to see the federal government atone for the practice of chattel slavery and hundreds of years of racist policies that followed. The United States have a moral and legal obligation to provide reparations for the enslavement of Africans and its lasting harms on the lives of millions of Black people, Bush said in a Wednesday news conference attended by Reps. Barbara Lee of California, Jamal Bowman of New York, and as well as other stakeholders. You know, they're just cashing in because reparations is such a hot topic in the country now. America must provide reparations if we desire a prosperous future for all, Bush says. Her resolution is on the latest in a long line of congressional efforts by Democrats to compensate Black Americans for centuries of racial inequity. Similar language about reparations has been introduced every legislative session since 1989. We know that we continue to live under slavery vintages, and we know that slavery has perpetuated Jim Crow. We know how slavery impacts lives on today. So she's just going over the basic things we have been hearing about: the wealth gap, voter suppression. You know, she talks about infant mortality rates, negative health outcomes for Black people. You know, nothing that we haven't heard before.
Right.
It's unjust, and it wouldn't happen in a just and fair and equitable society, she said. Those are not the natural consequences of human society. They are directly caused by our federal government's role in the enslavement and exploitation of Africans and Black people throughout our history. While the conversation around reparations has picked up traction in recent years, with about a dozen cities and the state of California considering reparations program, not the way Gavin Newsom has been talking, the concept remains broadly unpopular with Americans. Well, no, only one group in Americans and some foreigners. And, you know, we can't worry about that. You know, you keep moving on. You can't just, you know, historically, we should have been stopped listening to these folks for real.
Right.
So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, about 3/4 or more of white adults oppose reparations, and so do the majority of Latinos and Asians. Again, these folks did not experience American life like we did. So, I you know, no defense, but their opinions are invalid to me. Not unless you have suffered the same thing, then otherwise I don't care what Latinos and Asians got to say.
Right.
They did not experience Jim Crow and chattel slavery and Reconstruction and civil rights like we did. I don't want to hear from you. And if you're offended, oh well.
And keep
life will go
in mind,
on.
ma'am, the Black
Americans
era. You always got
overwhelmingly
to mention
support
the
the
Black
proposal,
empowerment
and
era.
young people
Yes,
in
sir.
general are more likely to support cash payments to the descendants of enslaved people than their older counterparts. But more than 90% of Republicans say they oppose it. Oh, that's real shocking. That's earth shattering right there. While Democrats are split 50-50. You know, they're both the same at the end of the day. You know, when it comes down to racism
Facts.
and reparations and the things that impact us, that's one thing Democrats and Republicans are definitely on the same page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they two
On whether
sides of the
descendants
same
should
coin.
receive compensation. So, y'all, the way I see it, we need to keep moving on regardless to what's being said. And I'm glad that we have not cared what a lot of these folks have to say. And we have not
Right.
let the issue die. And, you know, that's the way we should move forward.
Right.
I don't think we should stop talking about it. I think we need to keep it alive especially on social media, because social media is definitely stronger than mainstream news. Mainstream news, you know, they need to catch up with the times, because
Yeah.
mainstream news in this country sounds like Jim Crow era.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all,
It is.
you're going to have to tell me what you think about this. I'm not impressed. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. And quite frankly, I don't think they want it to go anywhere. That's my feeling, and I'm not going to change my mind. Please
Right.
leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.
General.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Okay, now this might sound crazy, but you know who I think would pick up on the whole reparations thing if he was voted into office?
Trump.
Yeah, just because he likes stirring the pot. Like a crazy motherfucker.
Well, he's the only one that sat down with Ice Cube for the contract for Black America after Biden said, "We'll meet with you after the election." Well, it's been 3 years and he still ain't met with Ice Cube, so we knew he wasn't gonna meet with him.
Trump, not only would he do that, you know, because he's trying to get a lot of, you know, support, and, you know, he wants to get notoriety as the best president ever. Because I watched him in the speech like 2 weeks ago. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was saying a lot of shit, man, that really, I didn't know he was part of that whole thing, or at least he claimed on the show that he was part of the whole abortion ban. You know, he was part of that. And then, you know, like I always say on the show, one of his first executive acts as president was he took all the transgenders out of the military.
Yep. Yeah, after Obama passed that don't ask, don't tell bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, he's a piece of shit. I'm gonna say this. Trump is a piece of shit.
Yes, he's a dump.
He produces results.
Yeah, he does produce results. He is a piece of shit, but he does produce results. I agree with you there.
So I'm just saying he might fuck around and pick that up if he gets voted. Just put that out there. That's all I want to say. Go ahead, y'all.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Go ahead, Shabaka. Shabaka? Oh man, we lost Shabaka.
There, man.
Shabaka. I see your video, but I don't hear you.
Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, too. I was just checking on something here, ladies and gentlemen, not getting off subject. As you know, tonight in Las Vegas was the undisputed lightweight championship fight between Devin Haney out of Oakland, California, and the white boy Lomachenko. And I was just getting feedback, and they said it went to a decision, and everybody's saying that Lomachenko was robbed. So therefore, what I'm going to shout out to right now to David, to Mr. Haney's crew, you know, look at your fight tapes, okay, get the rematch, give it to him, and then go knock his ass out. And now the reason why I'm having this attitude, folks, is because you see, with this white supremacy that's going on, you know, just like what Phil Scott was talking about, just like we was mentioning on, I'm seeing a lot of this here transferring over into the boxing arena, and how we need a man like Muhammad Ali again.
Shabaka, every competitive sport it transfers over into. We've done so many stories on this, it ain't even funny. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got another video I need to play though. So what are your thoughts on the reparations bill?
Okay, on the reparations bill, we need to keep it in their face, you know, keep the pressure up on it. And what we got to do to make the reparations happen, Black families, we got to get the cohesiveness back, man. Bottom line. Now, all this shit, man, about that you want to go out there, man, and live up there in Hollywood in the mansions and all that old type of shit. Keep in mind, they look at you still as a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
So,
The same thing with
my
Hollywood.
question is
And
is this gonna be another HR 40? Is this even gonna go anywhere?
okay, well, see, it is going to go somewhere, but we have to make it go somewhere. Now,
Right.
in my opinion, and this is going to be one of the things we're going to be speaking up on the future podcast of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced and Grand Rising with Shabaka, is that, hey, like on MX Day, we don't ask for a day off, you take it off. Also, too, in key industries, okay, that the government relies on. Oh, you motherfuckers don't want to give us no reparations? Let's look at the Montgomery bus boycott and take that principle and apply it to today's standards with artificial intelligence. If we're going to keep crumb bombing on it, is because one thing that we are not going to sit up here and accept from Hollywood, from Silicon Game Valley, ain't no damn man, no woman, period.
And there's
Okay?
gonna be two genders. Two.
Yeah, male and female, and we're gonna keep pushing that. So therefore, we're gonna keep it up in their face. You see what I'm saying? And we're gonna make them like it. Okay, it's because we have to get back to determination. We have to get back to cohesiveness that we had during the Black Empowerment era. There's no other way around it.
Yep, that's right.
There's no other way around it.
I'm gonna play this next video. So it says, this is from Uncle Phil again, and it says the Democrats, Cori Bush and Robert Lee, start the Democratic pander tour. So they're back pandering with reparations now scam. So I'm gonna start it from the beginning.
Either you're down with the revolution or you're in the way.
Period. And a lot of these
Pretty much
taking up space and they just standing in the way. And they got to get the hell out the way. Like Jeff Farch and your whole crew. Y'all need to get the hell out the goddamn way. Y'all just standing in the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hollyweird, the Congressional Black Talkers. The NAACP. All y'all mothers
Shut them down.
Goddamn way. But I'm gonna play this
Yeah,
video.
now what they need to do with the NAACP is pull a 501 status.
Oh yeah, big time. But here we go, Black family.
So as we continue to watch the election season, as we get closer and closer to 2024, the Democrats are starting to ramp up their pandering to Black people to get you back out there to vote for them. Now, they know the hot topic is reparations. Now, we say reparations is cash payments. If it's not cash payments, it's not reparations. It's a program that they're giving out. And anytime they say, well, this is reparations, and if you don't have a cash payment, then we need to greatly reject and say that's not reparations, not at all, and take that somewhere else, because we need cash payments to catch up with the wealth gap that's in this country, which all this was done by design to Black Americans. At the turn of the century, Black Americans had, over 20 million acres of land. And now you look at the end of the 20th century, the land is all gone, stolen by the white supremacists. And everyone knows that land equals wealth. They took it through eminent domain. They took it through terrorism. They took it by burning the deeds at the courthouse and say, oh, this is not your land anymore, so now we're going to auction it. They done that to Black people in the history of this country. It is not logical to lose that much land unless that was done by design. When you look at the Black homeless population, and why are we leading we are the worst of the worst in every single category in this country, because it's done by design. It's just not human interaction or just what human beings do. Because when you get out of this country and you go to other countries, and when you see people that doesn't target Black people in the way they target them here in this country, you see Black people just doing their thing, and Black people not having certain problems that you have in here. You don't have a mass incarceration problem in other countries. You got to think about it. China has billions of people there. This country, what, 300 and some odd million? How is it that this country lock up more people than China? They run around saying they're so much better than China. But yet China don't even lock up the amount of people that they should. And China should have a high, prison in population because of the particular population of the country. So how is it the United States have more people in prison than China? It's done by design. The sabotage of the black man and woman of America when you have a home and these appraisers come and devalue your home, which hurts you on those. And it's been proven several times they've done this by the color of our skin. Once again, all the things that you see happen to black people as a collective is done by design. Just as much as all the people you see coming across the border, that's done by design too. Because let's think about that. They say it costs thousands of dollars to get people across into the United States, paid to the coyotes. Now, the coyote is the name they use for the people who are the guides. These people come from third world countries. They don't have money like that. So who's funding them? And they're coming in droves. Who's funding them? Once again, that's done by design. They're using those people. And really, those people is going to be the new slaves. This is why they're trying to push black people out the cities to put them there, because they want them to be the new low wage, low earning workers. And they're not going to pay them much, not going to give them no pension, not going to take care of them, nothing. That's what they want for them to do. Black folk, you are no longer needed for that because you got rights and you know what's, so they don't want to deal with you. So they are importing all those people here. That's the plan. When Kamala went down there to Latin American countries and South America and told them don't come, right after that, more of them came. What did she say behind the scenes? She said, I got to get on camera. I got to say this, right? So reparations is not only about quote unquote repair. Reparations is about dealing with the sabotage of black Americans. When you have a 14 trillion wealth gap, that's done by design, folks. It's done by design. So the Democrats have come out now because Clyburn just told you, hell no, you're not getting cash payments, right? That's what he told you. Now you got Cori Bush and Barbara Lee from California coming out speaking about a new initiative called Reparations Now. So I want you to hear this, video. They just put this out. They're all excited and proud of this, but it's just more pandering. But let's go ahead and roll that.
All of this happened not in spite of the federal government, but because of it. Yeah. Because of the U.S. federal government. 10 of the first 12 presidents of this nation enslaved black people. Yes. Yeah. President James K. Polk traded enslaved black folks, enslaved Africans at the White House. We're told through the Oval Office. There have been 1,500 more enslavers of black people than black people who have served as members of Congress. As my staff said earlier today, every single black person that serves in the United States Congress is a miracle. The Supreme Court's Dred Scott case, that decision that was heard in St. Louis in my district, holding that black people could not be U.S. citizens. Folks that they brought here, that they exploited, that they stole, kidnapped. We're trying to find one kidnapped person. We changed all the media focuses on this one kidnapped person, usually white. The U.S. stole 12 million people. But the Supreme Court's Dred Scott decision holding that black people could not be U.S. citizens was decided by a majority that included 5 slaveholding justices. This is not just a matter of our country's history, but it is a matter for which America must provide reparations if we desire a prosperous future for all. We know that we continue to live under slavery's vestiges. We know how slavery has perpetuated Jim Crow. We know how slavery's impacts live on today, from the black-white wealth gap to voter suppression, to segregation and redlining, to disparities in infant mortality rates and other health outcomes. When the black-white wealth gap is $14 trillion, it's unjust, and it wouldn't have equitable society. Let me just add. So those are not the natural consequences of human society. None of that. Role in the enslavement and exploitation of Africans, of Black people throughout our history.
Shows us that reparations really can't just be an idea, but they are a moral imperative. Reparations have the potential to address longstanding disparities, racial disparities, economic disparities, again, making liberty and justice for all, truly for all.
Yeah, big time. I mean, they're all a bunch of goddamn coons. Everybody that's pictured, it's a bunch of damn coons.
Yeah.
It couldn't come at a more important time. As my home state, and I'm very proud of my home state of California. I spoke before the Reparations Task Force at their final meeting.
The only thing you got to be proud about of Barberly is that it's the birthplace of the Black Panther Party.
Our Reparations Task Force,
and Black organization that armed itself.
But I want our country. I want our country to follow suit. It's far past time for the federal government to catch up and to make sure that Congress understands that it must move forward. And yes, thanks to the leadership of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who has followed in the footsteps of our late beloved Congressman John Conyers and shepherded H.R. 40, we're closer today than we ever have been before. Closer today.
I remember when Conyers introduced it. It was in 1980.
For Ron Dellums, a great warrior for justice, who was one of the second after Congressman Conyers supported H.R. 40.
Lady Tay is joining us, y'all.
And when I came to Congress, one of the first bills I co-sponsored was H.R. 40. And so this is not new for me. This is not new for any of us here. After the murder of Mr. George Floyd in 2020, we all witnessed a national moment of reckoning, racial injustice, and began organizing. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee successfully advanced H.R. 40 through the Judiciary Committee last Congress. Through the Judiciary Committee. I sat there almost all
on the House floor
for that. And so we know that this can be done.
Another HR.
We know it can be done. And now we began our efforts to build a commission on truth, racial healing, and transformation. And of course, our Truth Commission, the transformation aspect of it is reparations. It's not about reconciliation because there's nothing to reconcile. It's about transformation. It's about dismantling these systems.
No, it's about reconciliation. It's about repairing the damage you fucking did and continue to do.
Exactly.
Stop trying to remake goddamn reparations. God. Hold on, babe. I got another video to play after this. Your questions will be answered.
Systems of oppression and these systems of discrimination and repairing the damage. So I just want to.
Nothing those ladies said were anything about cash payment reparations. When you keep hearing the terms equity, I heard that word mentioned. Well, for all, you can't even stick to script and say, let's talk about Black Americans. We're not talking about all people. We're talking about Black Americans. Right. Black Americans are the one that had their millions of acres of land stolen. Black Americans were the ones that mass incarcerated. Black Americans were the ones that have a school to prison pipeline. Black Americans have been terrorized by the race soldiers since the inception of Babylon. Why can't you keep the conversation on Black Americans? But see, they're doing this, ladies and gentlemen, because they got to get you back out there to vote for Biden. That's what it is.
Right.
And so what they're doing is that strategy of, well, let's put the carrot in front of them, give them some hope that they can get some reparations, and you constantly chasing the carrot. And you will never get to the carrot. You'll never get to it.
Hold it, folks.
Because
now, what chases a carrot? A donkey, right? Okay, a jackass, right? And what's the symbol of the Democratic Party? A donkey, a jackass.
Yeah,
and that's what they plan for.
I seen a whole house that had donkeys all over it, and it wasn't Bronco Chewbacca. It was a, but he has freaking his whole house had nothing but Democratic this and Democratic that, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do it.
Well, that person has my sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Is because you see, when you look at Hollywood with the brainwashing and the mindset that it sets, you see what I'm saying? You know, all the way, you know, to the rap music, man, to these degrading films, and even some of them super nigga movies that Jim Brown played in. Now, keep in mind, I liked the Jim Brown and Slaughter and 3 the Hard Way, by the way.
Yeah, 3 the Hard Way. That was yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I like the Jim Brown and Tick, Tick, Tick. You know what I'm saying? When he became the first black sheriff.
Panther.
Huh?
He was in Panther too.
Who, Jim Brown?
Yeah.
What part did he play in Panther?
He was the dad. He was the dad of old boy that had that gang.
He was?
Or I might be thinking of somebody else, but he was in 3
the
Hard Way too. The actor I'm thinking of was in 3 the Hard Way too.
Yeah, Jim Brown, Jim Kelly, and Fred Williamson. Yeah, they starred in that there.
That's what I was thinking of.
And the irony of that.
I don't know if he's gonna call me back.
Oh man. Okay. All righty.
Shut down hours at the nut house.
Okay. And then keep in mind though, it's very interesting of how that they talked about the water, man, way back in the mid 70s, man, with the water, like with the Flint, Michigan crisis. You know what I'm saying? That's going on right now. And definitely I want to reach out to Sister Padilla, you know, because that's in her neck of the woods. She can come on, you know, at her convenience, you know what I mean, and give us some more insight on that. And then of course too, you know, with Karen Bass, getting $1,000. I mean, getting a more 1,000 lap dogs of race soldiers in Los Angeles. You know, and those jobs will be hired quickly. And the way how they hire their lap dogs is that they go after war veterans. Yeah, like your Daniel Penny's.
Same way majority of the PDs do. They have a paramilitary structure. That's what I learned back in college.
Exactly.
And they definitely recruit right out the military, and they recruit from the South.
Exactly. And you see, and this is why you'll see the attire that they wear. This is why you see, you know, the automatic weapons that they use. And you can see of how they can handle those weapons real proficiently as well, to see. So they have previous experience handling them in war zones before they go out there to municipal police departments. You see, and it's very, very dangerous to the general public is when you have an army as opposed to a public service agency that's doing the policing. And as we know, Brother Parrish, policing does not, it only means policy enforcers. That's all they do.
The enforcers.
Exactly.
Enforcement arm of racism and white supremacy.
And that's their policy that they enforce. Yes, sir. And that's the policy that they enforce. And, you know, just like what, you know, what brother is saying right here, Philip Scott, is that they lining it up to get all you Biden supporters, you know, to go out there and bum rush again. Okay, now on the dump, as in human shit, ran for office.
Hold on. I got to get to this video because I got another video I got to play so I can bring up to speed on what's happening.
Okay.
All the circles constantly. Then you heard them mention the HR 40. Listen, when you hear them talking about HR 40, you know just to stop listening to it. HR 40 is a scam at this point. I don't want to hear no talk about no HR 40, Barbara Lee or Cori Bush. I don't want to hear talk about it when y'all are sending billions of dollars to Ukraine.
They just approved
on this podcast alone. I showed you the website, foreignassistance.gov. And you could take the clicker and go to every country where our tax dollars go to.
I went to that website.
And they don't have no commission to do it. They don't have no study to do it. They don't have no plebiscites. They don't have no focus groups. They don't have no analysts, nothing. Everybody start getting checks cut. But when it comes to black folk, well, we need a study, well, we need a commission, well, we need this, we need that. Just say no. I respect you more if you just say no. Like Clyburn, hell no, you're not getting it. At least when Clyburn said that, he's upfront with it. Of course, that's been his mindset. And once again, not speaking about Clyburn, stop running up on Clyburn. At this point, what's the point? The man is a straight up raccoon. Why ask anything? You already know what he's gonna say. He told you many times before. He's not gonna do anything. Period. He's happy. He's getting his reparations. That's it. Move on. But they need you to come out and vote. That's what I say. All them people you importing in, that's your new voters right there. Why are you asking black people to come vote? Why? That is your new voters. Since you're pushing black people out of their neighborhoods in Chicago, well, tell them to go vote for you. Those people you putting up. I mean, seriously, black people, tell them that. Okay, since you got an Asian bill and a black person breathed on an Asian and they get a hate crime charge.
Particularly
so since you're protecting the Asian, you're protecting the LGBT, you're protecting everybody from the third world, fine, no problem.
San Francisco.
Let them vote for you. Yeah. And we should just take the posture of one or two things. Either I'm gonna sit it out because I don't want to vote for none of y'all, no party I want to vote for, or I'm gonna do a protest vote and just vote for the other side. I've said that many times before. And it's like black folks, I told you many times that you participate in your own oppression. Because you keep going out voting for the people that's putting you in dire straits. I mean, how much more are you going to have these people play with you? Reparations now. Let's go back to it. Barbara Lee was up there when Obama was in office. Why reparations wasn't done then? When we had a Democrat Congress and a Democrat president, why reparations wasn't done back then?
Exactly.
Why we couldn't get a permanent civil rights bill? Why couldn't we get a permanent voting rights bill? Y'all had the chances to do it. Y'all didn't do it. And you're playing a game because, you know, good and well, Kevin McCarthy is not going to even play games with y'all with this. That's what makes it more disrespectful. You could actually play a little bit if you had a Democrat Congress all the way around. Maybe you could play a little bit with it. But come on, that's not going to happen with them. It's not. A study? Nobody playing no games with y'all because y'all not serious.
Right.
You're not serious. Now, Cori Bush, you said there's a $14 trillion wealth gap between Black America and white America.
Right.
Yep. Okay, sound is gone, Brother Che.
Yeah, man. Why let's just keep doing this? I got way too many windows open. Okay, let's close some stuff out. It is messing with the sound.
Is your device or computer getting hot?
This computer, Lady Che be on this computer all damn day. I had to restart it and it's still acting up.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm a sick family. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I stay fucking the way I am. I can do whatever I want.
Nobody's saying you can't do whatever you want. It's just the computer is acting up.
Because you're touching it.
No, No, they shadow banning us. This is all part of the shadow ban, folks.
Yeah.
Because they know who we are. They know who we are. They know that we interact with each other, and that's them throwing a monkey wrench in our works here at Frontline Black News, and that's how we know we're getting somewhere.
Exactly, Shabaki.
Yep. I just like messing with him. I like to think that he thinks his hands is evil. He's touching my beautiful computer, and he got 80,000 windows open.
I've been closing them out, but okay, let me try this again. Can you hear it now, Shabaki?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, I see him talking, but I can't hear him.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Let me try to share again.
Right, yeah, a lot of times you have to reset it.
Yeah.
And you know what causes all this here, and I'm gonna say it too, you know, while we get Mr. Scott back up, is Silicon Game Valley. You motherfuckers in your bullshit, okay? You clog up our computers and
Amazing how.
Okay, can you hear it
oh,
now?
we got him back. I heard him, then he faded out.
Okay, that's because I paused it. Okay.
They tell them, okay, you got to speak these talking points. See, that's why I can't be in no organized groups, because I can have somebody tell me, okay, this is what you go say, Phil. Every time you talk about this is what you say. No. I'm not saying that. I don't want to.
Hold on.
Okay, fine.
But the Democrat Party, ladies and gentlemen, are playing games with you. They are. And don't be surprised if people still go out for them. That's the thing. You have to understand, our community is so backwards in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's utterly crazy. And black people, to be honest with you, is really not ready to take a radical stance on everything about us as Black America. I remember, and this is something that affects all of us, and it really made me think that day. So I had a caller on one of my shows some years ago, and this caller was a white lady, and she was talking about if Black America really want to start separating ourselves from white people, we have to do it in every which way. And I say, okay, what is your suggestion? She said the first thing you got to do, all Black Americans, she said, y'all should start a movement on this on your own, that all of you should get rid of the white names that you bear. Is it because that's realistically the names, the last names that we have as Black people is tied to a plantation owner.
Exactly.
It's not tied to anything. Now, Nation of Islam been on changing your name. Right. They've been on that.
Right.
You know, I've even had that discussion with my mother about, shoot, I don't like the fact that I got a slave owner's name as my last name. I said, I just don't like that. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
I said, because, I should be able to choose my own name, whatever I want to choose it to be. Mm-hmm. And that's one way to start breaking away from the white supremacists, because no other group of people bear their names. And we could change our own names anytime we get good and ready. You know what I'm saying? I know the minister has said, well, shoot, you didn't pay. They didn't pay to give you the names. Why should you pay even to change it if you don't want to pay? You could just say, no, I'm no longer this name. I'm this. Kind of like in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? How many times have they done that? Saul, your name is changed to Paul. Mm-hmm. Nobody, he didn't pay for that. That was just what the Lord said about him. So maybe something that we should all start thinking about that. Probably about delineation from in the diaspora, but when are we going to delineate? When are we start delineating? Right. Because I notice with our people, it's so quick to attack Black or attack African or attack Afro-Latino or attack whatever form of Black you got. But you're not quick to say, let's start a delineation campaign from these folks. Mm-hmm. But to be honest with you, a lot of you still wrapped up with these folks and you feel like this is your lot in life and that's all you're going to do is these people. And these people really don't want us around. Mm-hmm. They don't. because they wouldn't be importing the people they're importing in.
Right.
So between the importing the new worker class and then the creation of AI and how that's going to come in and eliminate a lot of jobs, black people are going to be in dire straits if you don't have your act together with your people. If you don't have a community or work with each other. These black politicians just love to play games and y'all, like I said, I was looking at the numbers from the last election. 87% of black people voted for Biden and 12% voted for Trump. 87%, y'all. 87%.
I wasn't part of
voted for Biden. And 87% of you, which means the majority of black America. The majority of you
what the hell is going on?
Got nothing. Everybody getting something out of your 87% vote except you.
Yeah. No, he's right on that one.
All the people that the Democrats should cater to. Nobody votes 87% for one particular party like you. Nobody.
Right.
The LGBT don't vote like that for them. They're not even a big percentage of the population. And yet they get more. God. Asians not a huge part of the population. They get more. Ukrainians is not even citizens of this country. They way across the water. They got a lot more out of your 87% vote. Black people like, when you gonna wake up?
Right.
When are you gonna wake up?
Facts.
It's like some of y'all, for me, y'all like being oppressed. Y'all like being underneath the foot of the white man. I noticed. I really noticed that many times in my life. Because if you didn't like it, you wouldn't do the things that you do to stay up underneath the boot of the white supremacists. You wouldn't do that.
Right.
You do everything possible to get the boot off your neck, break the ankle of the white supremacists, and get away from them. That's what you would do. But you're not trying to do that. You just want the boot just to be a little comfortable, on your neck where it's there, but you don't really feel it there, but it's there. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want the boot off your neck. You kind of get mad when the white supremacists are squeezing a boot on your neck and you actually feel the squeeze on the neck from the boot. You don't like that. So if he can just keep the boot on your neck, but you don't really feel it's there, like, man, I don't feel like the boot on my neck no more. But I see it there, but I know that's the majority of you. And that comes from the 87% that voted for Biden in the last election. This man locked up black people, mass incarceration of black people. And Howard University gives him an honorary doctorate for humane letters. What is that? I never heard of that before. They just making up something to give this man.
Yeah.
But that same university kicked out Dr. Francis Cress Welsing for telling the truth about these folks.
Right.
Why didn't they have someone like Dr. Claude Anderson to go to Howard University and speak to the graduates? You know what I'm saying? Somebody who is respected. Somebody who can actually tell us what's going on or what's even coming down the pipe. But even Dr. Claude Anderson is getting tired of talking to you because you're hard-headed. If you follow what that brother would have said a long time ago, economically and politically, we wouldn't be in the condition that we're in.
Right.
And that's why the Democrats play these games talking about reparations now. They don't want you to have cash payments because they all benefit with master's foot on your neck. They get checks to keep you that way. They are paid deceivers.
Yep.
They're not paid to empower the black community.
Not at all.
They could be nice people. Sure, they can be nice people. I'm not saying they're mean, but when the rubber meets the road and they got to keep their job is to make sure to deceive you and keep you on the Democrat shield train, and they get paid for it.
Yep.
And they may help some individuals. Let's talk about Sheila Jackson Lee. There have individual people have said, yeah, Sheila Jackson Lee did this for me and that for me and that for me. But it's never been a collective of people say, man, Sheila did this in this district, and man, we honor Sheila. We're going to put up a shrine. We're going to put up a statue of Sheila Jackson Lee. Now, Sheila Jackson Lee loves the camera, and that's how she keeps her name out there. Everything that go on in Houston or wherever, she makes sure her face is out there. She got that game down packed very good. She loves the camera. But what do she do? But she don't have to really.
She don't do nothing. And them fools in Houston still gonna vote for her. I was on Jeff's program like a couple weeks ago, and they was like, yeah, see that Jackson Lee is running for mayor of Houston. And some fool was like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for her. And I was like, why are you gonna vote for her? Like, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna do anything specifically for black people? No. Then why are you voting for her? It's just that it's really stupidity at this point. It's like we're in the age of information. You can find out anything you want on any of these politicians, and must just keep going with the flow. Oh, well, I'm just gonna vote blue no matter who. Oh well, we just can't have the Republicans in control. Anybody but Trump. Black people, wake the hell up! Like Phil Scott said, when the hell are y'all gonna wake up?
Yeah, y'all are starting to disappoint me for real. You know better, man. Wake up.
They do much of nothing. Because like I was told years ago about Al Green, we know Al. That's what them older people told me. They know him. I said, what did he do for you? And they couldn't even answer. They got mad at me. I never forget them old people got mad at me. Mm-hmm. When they got hot with me. They got hot. Because I asked them, what did he do for you? And none of them could answer. And that's the problem in our community. You send people up there to be an empty suit or empty dress, and they're collecting a check, and they're sitting up there harming the communities that they represent by continuing white supremacy. Remember, Cori Bush and Barbara Lee, they voted for that Asian hate crime bill.
Yep.
They sure did. They didn't stand up and say, hey, wait a minute. According to the FBI statistics, Black Americans are the number one victims of hate crimes from this year all the way back to when they start recording the data. So we need to make sure that we put Black Americans and Asians on this bill. Or we're not going to vote for it. Now, y'all can vote for it if it passed, whatever. But we're not going to vote for it. We're actually going to come out and say it is racism because we have the data to prove why Black Americans need a hate crime bill. We got the data. But yet you don't want to put them on there because they're not the right people you want. See, we had a real congressional Black caucus. That will be the conversations. They will come out in unison and condemn what goes on in there. But no, they bought and paid for. Clyburn. Like I said, look at South Carolina. They keep sending Clyburn back up there. And you wonder why the conditions that is in South Carolina. The only thing this man give y'all is a fish fry. That's all this man got to give y'all. Listen, I can give you a fish fry. That's not really that much to do. It's a freaking fish fry. That's all it takes to impress y'all is a fish fry. Maybe I need to start doing that here in Houston. The Philip Scott fish fry weekend or something. Fish fry, whatever. Maybe I should. And that's all it takes to impress you. My keep playing with y'all until you stop.
None.
What's the matter? Okay, now you're not getting no audio from her.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And he's dropping some serious gems too. What's the last part you remember hearing, Shabaka?
Okay, what he's talking about, man, on these elections, how they manipulating us, and then they don't want to discuss the reparations, man, and they pretty much, I'm just paraphrasing, I'm not quoting them, is that they want us to sweep it under the rug, forget all about it, you know what I'm saying? But all that damn money that they're getting ready to give to these illegal immigrants crossing over here, and then they're gonna have old boy, run for re-election. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Biden. You see, and then they're gonna go out there, man. They're gonna go to Hollywood, man. Then they're gonna get all these Biden lovers up there to start supporting them and all that old type of shit. You see?
Shit.
What?
Oh, yeah, the phone getting hot.
Did you put it in the freezer, Shabaka?
No, man, I'm in the bit. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm laying down in the bed now, man. Got pajamas on and everything.
Okay. I'm trying to speed this along.
Yeah, because he's dropping some very, very serious knowledge right there. And also, too, I want to get with you, man, figure out a plan, for us to become digital content creators. Because with this fervor that's going on now, with the orange bomb coming back, and then, of course,
Well, we already are content creators. Even if we don't have the title on Facebook, we already are content creators.
Okay, because I've been seeing some other content creators been reaching out to me on Facebook, so I'm gonna scan the list, because we've got some requests, friends requests. But two, we got to make sure it ain't coming from Stinky Bird or Zuckerberg or what have you, because Zuckerberg was putting up some fake profiles and all that old type of shit, man, to kill. Yeah, to kill motherfuckers.
They got community notes. They got community notes, and that's the equivalent of the stupid ass fact checking that fake book had when it came to COVID-19. So they're definitely delineating the truth, and they don't want the truth out there. And if you say something they don't like on Twitter, they're gonna put a community note. God, come on, computer, stop freezing up. Okay, just like 3 more minutes of this video, and then I got another video I was gonna play.
Okay.
Not you. So it'll be better suited for us to create our own jobs and hire our own people in our own community so we can survive. Or more, you're going to be homeless. That's why I always focus on creating our own jobs. Me, I said, I got to create my own job. My wife, I told her, you have a gift. You have a gift. You got the baby, fine. You're going to quit that job and work in your gift. And that was one of the best decisions ever for her. She would have never got to the point where she's at right now if she'd been working that doggone job. And she's in a good position right now because she created her own job. Nobody can take her job from her, and nobody can take my job either. When you create your own job, you don't have to worry about the immigrants coming across.
He's right. Hello?
They're not your problem.
Oh, there he is.
Entrepreneurs walk into a better financial position because Russia for these folks working a job for them folks, they're not going to pay you right. That's what they like to do, but you will see what that's going to end up. If you're not creating your own job, Black people, in the next 5 or 10 years, you're in trouble because they're not going to be hiring Black people.
Yeah,
and you can cry. You can cry discrimination, but you know what they're You know what I'm saying? It's discriminatory because we're hiring Latinos. So we're hiring people that's minorities, right? That's what they got you about. That's what they got you by the balls every single time.
Mm-hmm.
But when are you going to wake up?
Right.
When are you going to stop voting for them at the tune of 87% and be disrespected?
And this is why we created
the whole world sees
resurrection of the
it's
mental dead.
how much we're disrespected. And I have to give an account when I travel about how we're disrespected. I got to hear it. What could I really say? But keep my mouth shut or say, hey, I didn't do that. I said, well, why do you keep doing it? Don't ask me, bro. I don't know. I don't even know. I gotta say, I guess they like oppression. I guess they like the white man's foot on your neck. I guess they like it. I guess. What else could I say?
Yeah.
They don't want to unify. I was at 87% unify to keep the white supremacist foot on your neck. That's what you unify for.
Mm-hmm.
Or unify to harm another black person. You unify for that. But you want to unify to free black people? But you're going to be put in such dire straits, you're going to be forced to. And unfortunately, I hate that about us as a collective. We got to be put in such dire straits for us to get our act together. Why can't we do it without all that?
Right.
But let me know what y'all think about the Democrats pandering, talking about reparations now. You know, I mean, and they're going to keep doing that until you show them not to play with you.
Right. That part. Thank you, Uncle Phil.
Yeah, he dropped some knowledge on that. That he did do.
For those Lady Cheo, look up the Democrats talking about reparations now. What are your thoughts?
About all this? I'm just waiting to see what like I was a little behind on it. First of all, I think that if they're not talking the language you're talking about, it's like Phil said, it's a trick bag. Curious, what happened with Gavin Newsom? They skip a step. I mean, like, what the fuck is really going on?
Yeah, well, there's a whole nother video, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts on what Phil was saying.
What's up, cuz? How you doing?
Is Jay Millie in the building?
Yep.
What's crack-a-lacking?
I just think that it's a lot of it's bullshit. I'm just like, I got a whole bunch of other personal questions. I feel behind and lost because the last thing I heard was about Gavin Newsom, and they just had a whole bunch of coons up there talking. So I don't know.
All right.
Other than Philip Scott, I don't understand what the hell's going on.
Shabaka, what are your thoughts? Shabaka? Oh man.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Shabaka, you still with us?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Well, what are your
phone guy?
What are your thoughts, Shabaka?
Okay, is what it is, man, they got this hidden agenda, and they're gonna come to us, play suckers for again in the next election. But they don't want us to talk about, a vital subject of reparations, right? Okay, and I can see as Philip Scott was saying it is picking up momentum. But what it is that we got to check these black congressional politicians at the state level, at the federal level, and at the municipal level. Okay, because as you know, they the ones who introduced the laws, authorization, and what have you. Yeah, see what it is reparations, man, is an entitlement. Okay, it's not a request. It's an entitlement. It's a debt that is owed. You see what I'm saying? Is that we have emphasized on our platforms and will continue to emphasize such. So therefore, all you other folks out there, you got to go hold your own nuts. We can't cape for you no more. You see what I'm saying? Is because black people and those in African diaspora are in a state of emergency.
Yep.
And for those who have sent me smart ass questions about, well, what is a state of emergency? Basically, what a state of emergency is meaning is that you got to save your own ass, man, before you can help anybody else.
Right. Put
And
the
this is what's
oxygen mask
happening with
on.
the rep.
What they tell you on the plane, Shabaka, if there's an
Yeah,
emergency, put the oxygen
your
mask
oxygen
on your
mask
person
on.
first before you try to put an oxygen
Exactly.
mask on somebody else.
Exactly. It's because you can't do shit for nobody else if you can't breathe. Now, what they were saying is also too, the reparation should be used for land acquisition, because why? Land is a factor of production, and we as a people, not only here in the U.S. but throughout the whole damn diaspora,
Shabaka, you're
is
gonna
that
need
we
money
got
to maintain that land. And you think they
okay.
just
Well, see, that's just it though, brother Shay. And I'm going. Okay,
give us
all
any
right.
most fertile, best land? No, they're gonna give
No,
us
we
the
have.
worst land
Yeah,
they could possibly find. So we're gonna have to have
yeah.
money in order to
Mm-hmm.
maintain that and get that where we can actually grow shit on and we can actually reap
Right.
some kind of benefit from.
Right, because you're gonna need the crops, for fruit. You're gonna need the crops for vegetables. You're gonna need the crops, man. You're gonna need the land, to harvest the crops. Plus, you're gonna need capital equipment to move the crops. You see what I mean? To get
And
to
that's
our
gonna
people as
cost
well.
money.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
gonna cost money. So cash
Yeah.
first, cut the goddamn
Right.
check. Don't
Right.
worry about what the hell we're gonna do with the check. That's not your
Right,
problem.
because it ain't. Or their business, you see.
Right.
Now, another thing that we have to do too is that we are so good as a people with each other on this narrative that I'm about to mention, but we do the exact opposite when it comes to those who are not our people. You see what I'm saying? And that there's full disclosure, okay, coming up with a plan, keeping it clandestine. You see what I'm saying? Because this is all what these other groups are doing, is they're working clandestinely against us. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so motherfuckers like Warlock, that other damn fool who said he ain't giving up. Yeah, Clyburn. You see what I'm saying? Hershey Bar Walker. You see what I mean? These kind of raggedy ass politicians, we can't vote for them no more unless they stand on an agenda of black first, of us preserving ourselves economically, socially, politically, and what have you. Everything else, man, is like James Brown said in 1973, talking loud, boom, boom, and saying nothing, boom, boom, talking loud, boom, boom, and see. We got to turn our backs on these tricks, like the hand coons, like the Hershey bars, like Warlock. You see what I'm saying? And that raggedy ass lieutenant governor of the state of North Carolina, Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? We have to let it be known that these coon ass sellout ass scratchers do not speak for us on a collective basis.
That's right, Shabaka, and that's a perfect segue to the next video. So,
yes, sir.
This video here I'm gonna play is from Black Star TV 2.0. Shout out to him. I learned about him at the FBA rally last year. He was one of many new black media content creators that were streaming it, and I decided to subscribe to his channel. And ever since, his brother's been dropping nothing but gems. So
I like him.
Okay. Let's get him on the show. What's his name?
I don't know what his real name is, but he goes by Black Star TV 2.0.
Wait a minute. I'm familiar with them.
Yes. Gavin Newsom opposes cash payments. Boston Reparation Task Force and Cori Bush, a.k.a. Reparations Shield. So this video is going to bring Lady Che up to speed on what's been happening in regards.
Okay.
is not nicely, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated black folk getting into this dilemma? And what black labor, white wealth did and tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that we used to enslave black the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.
He's right.
Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. And today, family, we're going to talk about Governor Gavin Newsom and his response to the cash reparations. And we're going to break that down. And we're going to talk about how we are still in the driver's seat when it comes to and how we're controlling the narrative. And this is only making them crumble. And when they come out publicly and go against what we're talking about. So make sure y'all hit that like button, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that share button, and let's get this algorithm popping. We can get it on up out of here. So listen, family, let's dig into this, right? So on this in this article, right, basically saying that it backfired, which it did, right? Because now Governor Newsom is backpedaling on the whole cash payment thing. He's fully backpedaling right now on the cash reparations is because we made it so airtight with the lineage-based, and lineage-based, right? That messed it up for them because their intentions was to create this task force, right? Because we were I was just arguing with somebody over the word beg and demand. That's why I just said beg. But we've been demanding reparations, right? We've been demanding reparations. So their whole thing was, okay, they keep talking about reparations. They're not going to let it go. Let's build a task force, right? We're going to build the task force. They're going to talk like them, and then they're going to finesse it and make it for everybody. So then we can really give out money and all that stuff, and then they barely get any of it. So that was the intention. But we in the grassroots got on code and said, nope, it's lineage-based or nothing, right? The game. So right, watch this. Watch this.
What's going on now?
Why'd you leave it?
The computer's just acting stupid.
All right, folks, California's first in the nation statewide task force on reparations voted to limit state compensation in the event it's awarded to the descendants of free and enslaved black people in the United States in the 19th century. This decision rejects proposal to include all black people who would receive reparations.
It will reject all black people. See, black people that's not a descendant of a slave in America. See, this is what killed him, family. That is what killed him. And this is why they can't turn around now, right? This is why they can't turn around now and try to say, oh, we're going to give it to y'all. They don't want to now because it's strictly for us. That messed their whole play up. So watch this. This is what they were saying. And even though this is a Fox News article, I actually agree with what they're saying. It says Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom is trying to dig himself out of a political predicament when it comes to slavery reparations proposed by his task force. But now I'm going to skip down because I want you to, it says, no matter what he does, he's going to anger part of his base. And he did. We're mad because you sized it up. Language right now governor's tendency to make big promises he can't or won't keep. And the people are going to learn quickly that Newsom is all talk but no action. Of course, I know a lot of the reason they're saying it is because they oppose, the Democrats and things like that. But he is true. You are angering a part of your base. And now it puts you in a predicament to either bust those checks up or you're going to make us mad and we're not going to vote for you and you're not going to get the presidency, which they are trying to put you in. I ain't say you was going to get elected. They're going to put you there. You're going to be selected, right? Because just like shout out to Black Alpha said, comparing him to JFK, right? They need another white savior to come in here so they can be like, oh, look, he came through and did it for y'all. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is why they was trying to, push this on Governor Newsom, because they know most of the Democrats we not messing with, and they know almost 99% of the black Democrats are either they all super coons, but some of them are tethers, right? So they know that we not going with that, so they not going to ever elect any of them. So they got to get the white man in there to say that he did it. Even though you use black people and other colored people to pose reparations. And that's funny too, because Roland Martin is the main reparation, no nigga, because we are 90% at. Why would we be checking the Republicans? But the funny part about it is the Democrats are the ones coming out publicly not agreeing with reparations in the way that we want reparations, in the way that reparations really are, because they're trying to change what reparations is. Anytime you hear the words housing, education, equity, you start hearing things like that and you know they are finessing. The same way when you see words like minority, right? Let me show you guys real quick. Let me show you something real quick. This is the Black Law Dictionary, and in law, right? I know you heard of the term legal jargon, right? And this is why, because it's a whole bunch of BS for real. All this legal jargon is a bunch of BS. Look what a minority is legally: the state or condition of a minor infancy, right? So now watch this. Watch this, family. Ooh, that's too small. Now, what's the definition of a minor?
Somebody under the age of 18.
A minor, a legal infant, a infant or a person who is under the age of legal competence. So they are calling us the minority, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we will be in the state or the condition of a minor infancy. Now watch this. They have judicial discretion. The term is a broad and elastic one. I bet it is. Yo. Excuse me, family. They said that's a broad and elastic term. You are not lying. Which is equated with sound judgment of the court to be exercised according to the rules of law. Basically, in regular English, that means I'm white and I say so. Watch this. Now, they have the judicial discretion to do what they want, right? And under that, watch what the next one is under that. Judicial immunity, the absolute protection from civil liability arising out of the discharge of judicial functions every judge enjoys. I bet they do. Remind you, this is the Black Law Dictionary, the 6th edition. And it literally says, which every judge enjoys. The absolute protection from civil liability arising out of discharge. That means that you was found not guilty after, or no. You got your shit appealed, right? It appealed and you were found not guilty after the fact, right? So discharge of judicial functions, which every judge enjoys. Yo. Man, listen, family. You can't do nothing to these people because they got immunity from the I'm white and I say so, judicial discretion. Nothing to do, right? That has everything to do with our situation and why we are in the situation we're in right now with reparations, the anti-black crime bill, the prison industrial complex. Everything has to do with law, and it always has to do with words. But let's play. I'm gonna play Cori Bush as she tries to push this little reparations bill. They call it a reparations. It's HR 40. It's a study. They need to stop saying reparations bill and say a study bill. Like, we're going to study this.
This effort as a thoughtful contribution to the foundation of the decades of work we have done in Congress to move the needle forward. In particular, this resolution calls out our government's failure to pass HR 40 legislation, which I introduced this session, and a measure that has now been introduced in Congress for over 30 years, seeking the establishment of a commission to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans.
Yo, man, hold on.
HR 40 is the pathway for a governmental framework that will help restore national balance and unity in terms of wealth, healthcare, education, housing, and the criminal justice.
I told you, family. I literally just said that before she said it. Yo, listen.
Education, housing, and the criminal justice. Healthcare, education, housing, and the criminal terms of wealth, healthcare, education, housing, and the criminal.
Yo, you can't do anything with housing. How you don't get no tax cuts from housing. Anybody who owns a home is getting tax breaks from the ownership of it. You don't get, and they can pass it down to their heirs, right? They can pass it down to their kids, their grandkids. You can't pass down housing. Mm-hmm. The land in the house is an asset. They don't want you to have anything. They want us to be messed up for generations and generations and generations to come. This is why you would talk about education, housing. See, you talking about criminal justice reform. No, it's a piece of reparations, but you're saying everything but cash. She didn't say anything about cash.
Wealth, healthcare, education, housing, and the criminal.
She said wealth, but that's still not cash.
Right. She got even further mention Egypt NFL when it's time break.
Congress can start a movement toward the national reckoning we need to bridge racial divides. Reparations are ultimately about respect, reconciliation, and healing, and the hope that one day Americans of all backgrounds can walk together toward a more just future.
All
Congress
Americans. See, and you already know that they're going to try to turn HR 40. After you say that you owe us, you're going to try to turn the federal law into something that's not lineage-based. And you're going to use these raccoons to push your agenda. See, what they have done is they're trying to take, because it's so funny. It's so funny because I remember when I was younger, before I became conscious, it was all into this, this pro-black thing, but I was just in the streets. I remember the politicians never would have red, black, and green anything around them. They wanted to distance themselves so much from the grassroots, it wasn't even funny. But now somehow, because the grassroots got the ear, all you see is Black Power fist this, Black Power fist that, red, black, and green and yellow this. And like, come on, bro. Everything is now trying to be some grassroots stuff, so it makes it seem like you're down. Because they know Black people aren't dealing with the boule class. So they try to get everybody around them to look like they're like so down Black, like trying to tell you it's all a finesse. Watch this. But again, this is why they're trying to do a lot of this stuff with this HR 40, because that's nothing. This is why Gavin Newsom wanted to reject, because the main thing that was on that reparations proposal was the fucking cash payments of $1.2 million. They don't, if you wasted it, it would go right back in white hands. Who wouldn't want that? That's extra money for the white businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But watch this. This is why we have to stay on them too, because they're trying to pull Reparation Task Force all around. So watch this, family. Here we go. Now watch this. This is in Boston. And see, I notice anytime it starts talking about reparations and what's owed and things like that, they always try to stay away from having a white person do it. You tell me the white person that you ever seen talk like this. I ain't saying that she's even talking like on some pro-Black shit or anything like that. I'm just saying, as far as talking about doing things for reparations and, you know, all of this, they're always trying to use Black people and other colored people so it doesn't seem so it takes the racism away. It, like, you know, it doesn't take it all the way away, but that's the point of why they're doing that.
Slavery Society, and for being part of today's announcement. I want to recognize there are many colleagues from government surrounding and with us, and with some elected colleagues who are in the room, state representatives. City Councilor Kenzie, thank you for your leadership and partnership at the city level.
Wow, what's wrong with the acoustic?
And thank you to the many hands who have over decades and generations laid a foundation so that this city could.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cori. I'm sorry.
The walk that we are about to embark on starting today. The City Council especially has been instrumental to this conversation in recent months and years. So speaking of another colleague walked through the room, welcome, and thank you, City Councilor Ricardo Arroyo. This was a conversation that began decades ago, and one that has its roots in our earliest history. Our Commonwealth was just a colony. Boston was a primary port of departure for ships engaged in the transatlantic slave trade. Yesterday, we learned that parishioners at the First Church in Roxbury, after research that they have undertaken, learned that parishioners enslaved at least 58 people as early as 1631, just a year after Boston was first founded as a town. Even after Massachusetts outlawed slavery, our region continued to benefit from the labor of enslaved people. That legacy formed deep, painful, and lasting systems of exclusion and inequity that persist to this day. Inequities are evident through the disparities that we see in wealth and income, home ownership, access, neighborhoods, and
see how she said in home?
Yeah, it has some factor of home production on that.
I'm sorry.
What's going on now?
All right. So yeah, it's a nothing burger, Black family. It's nothing tangible. It's them trying to get us back on the Democratic plantation because we just said to hell with that shit. And those that are tuning into the new Black media are saying to hell with the Democrats and anything they talking about. They ain't talking about cutting the check. We don't want to hear nothing they got to say. So as you can see, more reparations task force is sparking up. Just played the video of the Boston mayor talking about she's gonna start a reparations task force.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Lady Chair.
Real quick. I think I'm gonna move this to the RVA topics because I feel like this. I feel like, first of all, that lady is Asian. That right there is another fucking upset for us. I don't give a fuck what she talking about. Like, I don't care how sad she sounds in her fucking voice. She's not FBA. She's Asian. Like, is it so hard to pull a bunch of foundational Black Americans together in every state to sit on a board and have a quick ass fucking 30-minute discussion about cash first? I mean, like a quick fucking 30-minute discussion, a whole bunch, like maybe 6, 7, 8 of your smartest foundationals, a couple of economists, maybe a historian. It's that difficult for all of us in 50 states to get 5 to 7 of foundational Black Americans together on one goddamn. I mean, really, do we need all these other classes of people? I mean, I'm just saying, like, is that really a difficulty? I mean, I know in every state there's at least 5 to 7 smart ass foundational Black Americans. They can sit on a board together for about 30, 40 fucking minutes and say, you know what? Go ahead and run these cash payments first. Why is this so difficult? We're gonna let all this other shit happen? Is it that hard? Am I the only motherfucker that understands this? Why we can't have about 5 to 10? Let's even round it out. Let's make it 10. Fuck it. You mean to tell me in one state we don't have 10 brilliant, fucking smart Black people, foundational Black Americans to sit on a board for about 30 to 40 minutes, all in alignment, talking about cash payments? Let's get this bills and shit running. Let's write some shit. Hey, I don't like this language. Hey, let's take the language from over there and build it into right here, and let's send that shit through. Y'all acting stupid about this shit. It's gonna sit idly by and let this shit happen. I'm not the asshole right here. I just pointed out, like, we have 50 fucking states, and there are Black people in every single fucking state. Foundational Black Americans in every single fucking state. Smart ones. Really fucking smart, brilliant foundational Black Americans. Built the whole fucking country several goddamn times. So is it that hard to get us all together on one fucking board for about 40 minutes? And the first priority principle is cash payments? I'm not the asshole, I'm just saying. The second thing I want to talk about is I don't like how any of this is working out. And that's my second suggestion. Okay, I don't think we need any buffer classes. I don't think we need any Asians. I don't think we need any immigrants. I think this should just be strictly foundational Black American thing. And I know for a fact, in every fucking state, there's at least 6 to 10 very fucking brilliant, smart, mathematically inclined, educated, reading like historian, philosopher types that know history, know how to count, and know what the harms are. They can sit on a board for about maybe a day, write some shit up, and get the fuck up out of there. Why is it gotta be this hard? This is what makes them think that we are inept. This is what makes them think that we have to need somebody to fucking figure our shit out. No, we don't need nobody but us.
We just need them to cut the goddamn.
Can we not pull it together, Foundational Black American?
I think it froze up.
Yeah. Yeah, they should.
Am I wrong?
Well, that's not how these commissions are set up.
They can do it. These people together. Don't believe the hype, Jesse. Why are you believing the hype?
Because that's not how these commissions are set up.
Set up a different commission.
When you look at all these other groups that receive
Set up
reparations,
commissions, man. I'm tired of hearing the fucking excuses.
it came from the government. So
Jesse,
it's the government
so
that's
trying to say we don't have at least 10 motherfucking black people on
That's
our
not
government?
what I'm saying, Randy. I'm saying each state is gonna have to appoint people.
How many boards do we sit on personally, Gus?
A lot.
And do we have the real qualifications?
But we didn't get appointed to those groups.
What?
We didn't get appointed to those groups.
Okay, so what does it take to get appointed? If you're already sitting on a board, man,
What does it take to get appointed? An actual
Jesse,
Jesse politician. I'm not making excuses.
That's how you move on.
That's
You
not
move
easy.
on. Tap in when you're ready to talk about this.
I'm trying to inform you on how government
I don't
works.
care. Sounds like excuses.
It's not an excuse.
That's what they're giving us, cuz. They're giving us more excuses.
I'm trying to
say is we need black people to sit up there and do
Randy,
it.
they have to be appointed.
Get somebody to appoint them. I don't see what the difficulty is to this.
It's up to whatever government officials in that
You
state.
can't put nobody can put in any recommendations for somebody to sit on a board. Like
Randy can do that in Colorado because we live in Colorado.
that's
But
every state, Jesse.
Randy, I'm talking about us specifically.
I'm talking about every state, cuz, and us. Yeah. They mean to tell me we can't make any recommendations.
We
for any
can, Randy.
smart foundational black Americans to sit on a board together to write up a motherfucking policy for Colorado. Are
Yes,
you
we
serious?
can. But they have to be appointed by the actual
Yes,
government.
We have to lead the fucking way.
Damn,
Apparently.
You're not listening to us.
Are you ready to lead the way or not?
Yeah, Randy, we've been leading the way.
Evidently, we're not leading the way now.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. If we're having this discussion,
Randy, they weren't even studying reparations 4 years ago.
they're not doing it now.
Yes, they are, Randy.
No,
They're
they're
little.
not. They're trying to remix
Randy,
it down
it
here.
don't.
Can't you see the buckets? I'm trying to remix it.
Randy, I'm not saying they're
She's
not trying to
remix
remix
She's a
it,
council person.
but this is part of the narrative now. They're actually talking about the shit.
Oh my God.
Whereas before they were just like, oh yeah, whatever. They're actually talking about the shit now. And each state is doing what they think they have to do
Okay,
in order
don't
to
you
get
think that as the new black media, we should make a recommendation
Randy, we're already doing that.
to each other. We're telling everybody to go ahead and create their own fucking board.
Yes.
Really, we said that today in this last
Randy,
30
we've
minutes.
been saying that.
Because
Oh
this
my
is terrible. You're
God.
terrible.
It's
Moving along.
argue, guys.
Moving
You're
along.
not
Let's go.
trying to listen.
Forward. Let's go
And that's the
forward.
problem with our don't listen.
I'm listening. and
No,
I'm
you're
listening
not,
to
Randy, because you're still talking.
I'm listening to excuses.
And this is
because
dysfunctional as hell.
This excuses.
Because
It's
we're
not
we're live on the air.
Nobody's doing it.
Yes, they
Just gonna let
are.
everybody make decisions for us.
Randy, we're not the government.
Hey, but you can't make it. You can't. You just
We're not
said- you
elected
just gave a
officials.
pushback, Jesse. There's like a pushback on this.
It's
Go
not
ahead.
a pushback.
What is
I
it?
agree with everything you're saying.
What
But
am
you
I
don't.
saying?
What are Randy? You're saying that we need to have foundational Black Americans on these commissions. I agree with you there, but it's not up to us. It's
Well,
up to
it
the.
is.
No, it's not.
Why
We
is it?
don't create the commissions. The government does.
But we can make a recommendation
Randy,
for the
yes,
commission, guys.
yes, we can do that.
So why doesn't anybody do that?
Randy, who's to say people aren't doing that?
Because it would be showing if it was.
Oh my God, Randy.
No one's showing that in the initiative.
Randy, yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Randy, it happened in California.
Where?
What do you
Those
mean
are
where?
people. There's a whole bunch of mixtures on there.
Brandy, Gavin Newsom came up with that goddamn commission.
Gavin Newsom's a white dude.
Obviously, but he's the governor of California. That's what I'm telling you. Like, you don't.
As you see, he's playing with. But
Brandy, stop talking, cuz. I'm trying to fucking educate you. This is the problem with our people. We want to just talk, and don't want to be educated about the shit.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. There's nothing to lie about.
Jesse,
you don't know how this shit works.
Together some Asians and a couple of fucking
one
foreigners.
Asian, Brandy.
Like 2 Asians.
There's
actually
one. No.
On that board.
Tamika. No, Brandy, currently there is 9 people on the commission.
You know so much.
Yes, I do.
You're not making no changes to make it better. So
Brandy, I am making changes to make it better.
I'm listening.
Golly.
I don't want any excuses. That's what
I'm not giving you an excuse.
Y'all
There's no excuse here.
And you keep saying the same fucking position you're in.
You don't understand how government works. That's not my fault.
That's okay. I gave you 3 solid solutions.
Brandy,
and there's always pushback.
There's no pushback. I agree with everything you're saying, but you don't know how the government works.
Moving forward, I'm not.
So you can give suggestions all you want,
Go for it.
but if you don't know how the process works, then it's a waste of time.
Go for it. I'm listening.
Damn, this is so dysfunctional.
What's the next?
No, we got to hear from
topic.
Brandy.
Jeez.
Go ahead, Shabaka. What are your thoughts? Are you still with us, Shabaka? Did you pass out on us? Oh, God. Shabaka passed out. Okay. We're going to bid Shabaka a good night. All right. Oh, God. I done lost my whole train of thought.
You're on the reparations.
Yeah, I know where I'm at, Brandy. I don't need you telling me where I'm at. I know where I'm at. So, yeah, I agree with Lady Shay. There needs to be black people on these commissions. Foundational black Americans. But once again, it's not up to us. It's up to whatever government in that goddamn state or that damn city that wants to come up with these goddamn commissions. They're the ones that make the appointments. We don't make appointments. We can give suggestions, but we don't make appointments. Yeah, so this is seriously a nothing burger. If they're still talking about HR 40, then it's just a waste of freaking time. HR 40 ain't going nowhere, and this Cori Bush bill ain't going nowhere either. And that's how they designed it, so it didn't go nowhere. Commission in California, that's not going nowhere because they're not in support of the cash payments, and they're not going to enforce cash payments. They're going to try to make it programs. Oh, it's all the madness, and it's just not going to go nowhere. So we have to be very clear on the language, each state that comes up with these commissions, and who's appointed to them. And you got to get the language correct, because then it's going to be a free-for-all if the language is not correct. That's all we're stressing here on Frontline Black News. Look, it's lineage-based, cash reparations, cut the damn check. End of story, end of discussion. All right, so the next topic is we lost a giant in our community, Jim Brown. Rest in power to him. His brother did a lot of influential things in California, Southern California to be exact. He dealt with the gang situation in California, and he was a strong social activist for social justice in this country. So Now there's some allegations that came out. No, I always got to try to throw dirt on our riders, but it's just to be expected at this point. None of that surprises me anymore. You see how they did Bill Cosby, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Now I gotta find the damn video. Like Tariq's Twitter space. Here we go. Still computer. It's acting up really bad. Why are we pinwheeling? Okay.
Glad to have you guys tuning in on this lovely Friday afternoon. What's going on with everybody? Everybody pile on in here. Got a lot of folks in here already. Just chopping it up with the family real quick. What's up, Afro Elite? What's up, Nikki? What's up, D? What's up, a lot of the familiar faces in here. What's up, Joe? Just want to take a little time out to give a special rest in power to our good brother Jim Brown, who transitioned today. Our brother became one of the ancestors. Jim Brown is an FBA legend, one of the greatest running backs in football history. Thorough brother, always a stand-up brother. I worked with the brother back in the day. He was in one of my movies. Always very hospitable brother. Very loved, very well respected. He did a lot of stuff with the gangs out here in LA, did a lot of gang intervention. He did a lot of phenomenal things. Funded and created a lot of black businesses out here in LA, and brother did a whole bunch of stuff that a lot of folks don't know about. So we got to give a shout out and a much respect to our good brother Jim Brown. Now, what's interesting? Have y'all noticed? Y'all got people on this Twitter and social media trying to demonize our brother. And yes, some of the hairlines are janky and the wigs are divestment full. We have a lot of divestment and stringing up a lot of those accusations that they've been levying at our brother for years. That's a lot of them have been debunked. Our brother was targeted by the LAPD for a long time because anytime you have black people who are doing things for the community, all of a sudden you're going to have these weird bogus charges thrown at them. So, the LAPD and law enforcement out here in LA, they really had a problem with Jim Brown. So they would throw a lot of stuff at him, and a lot of bogus accusations were being levied at him. And you have a lot of the tethers trying to run with those accusations today on the day of the man's death. And then people wonder why we get on the bumpers of these tethers. But that's what it is. And, we're playing past that, and we're going to show that brother the proper respect that he deserves. All right, we've got a lot of folks in here. Let me get a lot of people trying to get on early here. Realist, hop on. Let me see what you got to say. Realist, hop on. Hop on, Realist. And we got to touch on some other things that's going on these Twitter streets too, by the way. We got to touch on some other things with these white supremacists. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up, Tariq?
What's happening, man? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I was a huge fan of Jim Brown. He did a lot of stuff in terms of speaking out against, the current system that we're in. But there's one thing that I really didn't really understand when he was on NBA TNT one day. I believe it was during All-Star weekend. He didn't side with Colin Kaepernick when he was kneeling. I just found that weird. He it's like he was gaslighting and questioning why he was kneeling that time. But he was kind of old, so I guess I'll give him a pass. But that just kind of seemed funny to me. So I just want to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, and I had a problem with it. I even made a tweet about it, even when it happened. Yeah, I didn't agree with that either. That
right. Right.
Yeah, so yeah, I had an issue with that, but I still rock with Jim Brown. But yeah, even so, Cap. But even when that went down, you can go look at his old tweets. I even said, "Hey, Brown is my guy. I love him," but I completely disagree with him on that part. So that's what it is. Let's get FBA Soldier in here. Let's get FBA Soldier in here. And we ain't gonna be here too long because I know some of you guys are at work, and I don't want y'all to get fired from Amazon listening to Twitter Spaces right now. What's up, FBA Soldier? FBA Soldier, turn your microphone on, man.
What's good, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, sir. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I want to speak on Jim Brown, man. He was a real rider. What I mean? He was a soldier. You know what I'm saying? He rode with Malcolm X, and he did his thing. He had a few instances where he kind of like went left, but he was still a rider, man. So big up to my man Jim Brown.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was definitely a rider for Foundation of Black America.
Yes, he was, man.
So
yes, well, thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, man, he.
What's wrong with this? The sound is acting up. Okay, let me try it again. Can hear it now.
Sometimes people can do things, they could say things that's a little bit off the radar, but he did so much, man. I can charge that to the game. He's done so much for the community, man, especially on Crenshaw Boulevard. It was businesses that he started there. I mean, he helped out with a lot of businesses and helped a lot of other players. He did a lot of stuff. He helped Minister Farrakhan. When I was at Jim Brown's house, there was an old picture of Minister Farrakhan there. And Minister Farrakhan and his wife stayed at Jim Brown's house. He told me I forgot the circumstances, but they were staying at Jim Brown's house. This was for some reason. Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened. Something weird happened. Stay at Jim Brown's house for something. I forgot what he told me. I have to look more into it to I forgot exactly what happened, but it was an interesting dynamic. Okay, seem like I'm having technical difficulties here, but I'm here. But listen, some other stuff going on the Twitter streets right now. As you know, there's that story out of New York where that suspected white supremacist woman was getting into an altercation with these young brothers over one of those city bikes. And I put up a tweet that went super viral. The mainstream media picked up on it. It got like millions of views. Real mad, and right now they're calling themselves getting on.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. He's gonna go talk about a whole nother incident that happened. Let's see what the white-owned media is saying about Jim Brown's passing. This is from Live Now.
Running back who retired at the peak of his Pro Football Hall of Famer Jim Brown, the running back who retired at the peak of his career to become an rights advocate during the 1960s, has now died at the age of 87. A spokeswoman for Brown's family said he passed away peacefully in his LA home on Thursday night with his wife Monique by his side. One of the greatest players in football history and one of the game's first superstars, Brown was chosen the NFL's most valuable player back in 1965 and shattered the league's record books in a short career spanning 57 to 65. Brown led the Cleveland Browns to their last NFL title in 1964 before retiring in his prime after the 65 season to become an actor. He appeared in more than 30 films, including Any Given Sunday and The Dirty Dozen. An unstoppable runner with power, speed, and endurance, Brown's arrival sparked the game's popularity on television. We are seeing and of course, in relation to the passing of Jim Brown here, I want to pull just some of them up for you here. Fox Sports tweeting out his photo along with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, saying that they're saddened to share the news that the class of 71's Jim Brown passed away at the age of 87. That is a tweet right there from Fox News as they broke the story that the NFL legend Jim Brown had died at the age of 87. The Cleveland Browns tweeting this tweet right here saying, quote, his commitment to making a positive impact for all of humanity off the field is what he should also be known for. We heard from J.J. Watt as well, saying an absolute legend, rest in peace, Jim Brown, with those prayer hands emojis. AP NFL here tweeting out, breaking Jim Brown, a Pro Football Hall of Famer who retired at the peak of his brilliant career to become an actor and civil rights advocate here, died at the age of 87. This is the initial tweet that we showed you earlier as the Cleveland Browns quote, Jim Brown forever there. They tweeted a photo of him as well. The Players Tribune also tweeting this photo there on the left side of your screen saying, rest in peace, Jim Brown, with a heart emoji. The Colts tweeting out, legend, our thoughts are with Jim Brown's family and everyone who has been impacted there by his legacy. Again, that is Fox Sports saying Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown has passed away at the age of 87. His wife, Monique, announced today with the prayer hands emoji. So again, if you are just joining us, Pro Football Hall of Famer Jim Brown has died at the age of 87. We will continue to bring you updates here as we do get them.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Jim Brown has died. Brown's wife said in an Instagram post that he died peacefully in his home on Thursday night. He is known as one of the greatest football players of all time. He was also an actor and civil rights activist. James Brown has more on his legacy.
Brown takes the ball. He was one of the greatest football players to step foot on the gridiron, but his talents transcended sports. Jim Brown was born in 1936 in segregated Georgia. When Jimmy Brown breaks loose for his, he rose to fame as a football and lacrosse standout at Syracuse. ESPN recently called him the greatest college football player ever. Number 32, Jimmy Brown. Brown went on to play 9 seasons in the NFL for the Cleveland Browns. He led the league for 8 of those and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1971.
When I retired from professional football.
At the top of his career, Brown quit the NFL at the age of 30 to pursue acting.
20 seconds.
He starred in dozens of films, including movies like The Dirty Dozen and Any Given Sunday, where he shared the screen with Al Pacino.
Never had him. How you gonna lose me?
Tonight, Brown also being remembered for his political activism during the Civil Rights Movement in the decades that followed. In the 1980s, Brown founded the serving time in prison in 2002 for charges related to a domestic violence dispute.
That's the greatness in the building.
Still, his legacy means he was revered by this generation of superstar athletes. Jim Brown was 87 years old. He was indeed one of the greatest ever athletes in any sport. Chanel?
James Brown, thank you. Tyler Dragon joins me now with more on this. He is an NFL reporter at USA Today. Thanks so much for making time.
Thanks for having me on.
I want to start with asking you about Brown's legacy in the NFL. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, Jim Brown is not only just one of the best football players of all time, he's one of the best athletes in the history of sports. By the time he retired, he was the NFL's rushing champion, multiple-time MVP, an NFL champion with the Cleveland Browns, the Browns' only championship. And, he's just one of the best running backs of all time, if not the best. A lot of players, past and present, look up to him, watch his highlight films, watch the way he played the game. He was one of the most fiercest runners of the football in pro football history. His ability, not only his speed, but his power. People were afraid to tackle Jim Brown in his heyday. And then just his legacy off the field, as you alluded to in the segment, he was a social justice pioneer. He's a civil rights activist. So he's going to have an everlasting legacy, not only on the football field, but off the football field and just his overall impact.
Is there a more decorated player than Jim Brown in league history?
That's a good question. You can make the case that he's the most decorated player of all time in the NFL, on and off the field. You can go with, the Jerry Rices of the world, the Tom Bradys, the Joe Montanas, but Jim Brown is definitely up there, a Pro Football Hall of Famer. There's Pro Football Hall of Famers, and then there's Hall of Famers that stand out above the rest. And Jim Brown is definitely a Hall of Famer that stands out above the rest.
And I wonder if you can speak quickly, Tyler, about online.
Jim Brown's family, his friends and loved ones, a lot of
I'm sorry, Black Family. I'm gonna have to call the show quits tonight.
Let's go.
You know, shut up,
Let's
Randy.
go. Come on.
No, you're not ready.
What's the next topic, Jesse?
Randy, I'm not gonna be able to get to the next topic.
Yes, you will. Go on.
No,
Let's
I'm
go.
not.
Let's go. Come on.
No, Randy, this
What
is
did you say
dysfunctional
was,
as hell.
Jamont, what is it?
No,
Jamont,
Brandy,
whatever.
no, Brandy, that's not the next
What's
topic.
the next topic then?
The Black Wall Street court decision.
Well, let's get to that because I'm ready.
No, you're not.
Sam, just put it on, Jesse. Come on.
Jesus.
Watch it
No.
for the sidelines. I'm no longer part of
I'm gonna end the show right now.
No, we're not ending.
Yes, I. I apologize, Black Family. I'm gonna have to end the show. They're having way too many technical difficulties. It's really getting real dysfunctional. It's not a good look. So we'll be back tomorrow with part 2. We still had other topics to get to that we weren't able to get to. And that was the Black Wall Street court decision. Terrance Howard quits acting and exposes Hollyweird plan to effeminize black males. The Jamont Morant situation with the Memphis Grizzlies, reclaim Osage, Mike Africa Jr.'s on push to buy back Move House 38 years after Philly police bombed it, and our Unhoused Neighbor News and our Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So we'll be back later on today with a part 2. I definitely apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully we won't have this problem later on today. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And make sure that you get on Twitter. So peace.